Afternoon, everyone. Hello, it is ALR. We are here in the Principality. It is the Monaco Grand Prix. Of course, it's the jewel in the crown of Formula One. It's worth half a championship, some legends, some drivers say. And yes, indeed, then it is a brutal old circuit. It's I gotta say, is it the toughest circuit on the racing calendar? I would say yes, but that's because I'm very well, let's just say I'm quite intimidated by Monaco, to say the very least. Welcome, 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 everyone. Let's go through the drivers and the constructor standards, shall we? Whilst there is not much action out on the track, then. So we've got a Mercedes out, and we've got an Alfa Romeo out as well. Lovely stuff, but goodness me, they're very quick from the get-go, aren't they? In the driver standards, then, it is the Bronze World Champion. It is Dylan who leads the Grand Prix Championship. He is joint leading, actually, with young Tommy, who is second. Good stuff indeed. Then Sir Curly, a brilliant drive last week in Spain. What an incredible Grand Prix that was. We'll touch on that in just a jiffy. Fourth position is FIFA Beefy. He's dropped down one position there. With TK Moon up 6 positions there. He was devastated after last week, wasn't he? TK as well. Fantastic drive nonetheless. And remember, he got pole position this time last season here. Gordo Moon at 1 position as well. Vitor dropping down a position. He is down in 7th position. Then 8th position is Wilson. He's dropped down 4. Sarah Rush has dropped down 4 positions as well, as has Bradfield as well. Maldonado has gone up 3 positions, and she is now in 13th position. In the Constructors' World Championship is Alpha Tower. They're just running away at the moment, aren't they, with that incredible performance there from Tommy and Dylan. Magical stuff indeed there. Mercedes are second, but they've gone up 1 position there, with Alpine dropping down to 3rd. Red Bull and Ferrari have jumped up 2 positions respectively. Great stuff. Haas and McLaren have dropped down 1 position. Williams are up 2, and Aston Martin are now at the bottom, at the foot of the table then. And there we go then. So I've done the standards already. Fantastic stuff indeed then. And I've now just accidentally clicked on the highlights video, which, by the way, of course, if you haven't watched the highlights for Spain, then you can do after the race. I've lost the stream now. That's not good, is it? Hang on a minute. Let me compose myself. I have composed myself very nicely indeed then. Right, good stuff indeed. Right then. Yes, hello. Yeah, I must apologise then about yesterday. I gotta say, I had an opportunity to go to. Oh, look at the sun out there. It's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And I must say, those palm trees remind me of Torquay, where I was not too long ago, actually, back in the old back in June or July, I think it was, for a stag party. But yes, oh, lovely helmet design there from Curly Red. Fantastic stuff to go down into Mirabeau. So it's a beautiful day here in Monaco. It's a look at that. That's absolutely, the sun is shining, the weather is free, isn't it? Lovely. Right, let's go to the comments, shall we? Serious Russia, evening all. A young Tommy, evening all. Great stuff indeed. Then Bradfield and Kakarot Goku. Evening. Good evening. Emerson, good luck Ferrari. We've got Gunnar saying good luck everyone. Lewis G, I have raced it every week and I'm a reserve fan. Oh, goodness me, Lewis. I wouldn't complain too much about that. I'm sure you're enjoying your racing experience here in ALR. Gordo, hello everyone. Gurman, I've had my eyebrows done now shortly. Yes, indeed I have. I look absolutely fabulous, darling. Absolutely fabulous. Gordo saying dry. It's time to Monaco race it. I'll leave. I like that actually. I'm stealing that for the spot. I like Gordo. We got to Curly coming across the line. He is the first driver to us. Put a time on the board then. I love the helmets on Curly. Actually fantastic stuff indeed. And he climbs up the hill there as well. So here's the first driver to put a time on the board then. Great stuff indeed then. Lewis G then is going for a second point of chair. There's a reflection as well on board the Ferrari driver. We've got Aston Martin then, who is just starting his lap then, just finishes up. It is Markey who has got second fastest and 8/10 of a second away from Curly's benchmark at the moment. Good stuff indeed then. We've got an Alfa Romeo just coming to finish us up. It is Marsky in 3rd position then, after I think he had a good drive, didn't he, in Spain last week? Did he get some points at the end, Marsky? I think he did. He's having a tough old time, isn't he, to start his silver career off. Viton has got it full fast mode. Gunnar has got it into the 12s at the moment. This track is all about confidence, isn't it? And here comes that new potato who was on pole position last time, wasn't he? Unfortunately, in his first 2 Grand Prix this season in a silver, he's basically completed 1 turn, which is very good, isn't it? Here comes young Tommy there with a very reminiscent helmet of Mika Sala there. Lovely stuff. He is leading the World Championship at the moment. It's the Alpha Tower driver. Magnificent start to silver this season. Lewis G has gone for a second body chair as well on board the Alfa Romeo to come down into Mirabeau now. Of course, that's an infamous turn, to say the least, isn't it? Anyway, quickly, let me go back to the old where am I going? Oh, there we go, to the old Stream posts as well. Thank you very much, everyone. We have got Formula Moments. I want to cry. No rain, no practice. No love for the track. Then Gordo. Grandma saying good luck, Gordo. Eyebrows back, sack and crack. Yes, indeed. Then I've got to say, I do need to get me crack done as well, don't I? Really? Like say, I've got to say, I'm not in very cracking form at the moment. Lovely helmet design actually from Monaco. She climbs up the hill there. We're keeping on. Oh gosh, Sarah and Lewis G has basically done something similar to what Charles Leclerc did earlier on. Oh goodness me, he's also gone off at anti-Noakes as well there. New Potato has done a 9 then to set the benchmark by 0.6 of a second. Williams have basically run a monopoly, haven't they, on the pole position this season, haven't they? And here comes Welsh Maldonado, who is on pole position for the season opener round in Bahrain. And let's see, can she get back up there again? She had the pace, did she, to be on the front row in Spain as well, but unfortunately didn't go too well. But her race form was fantastic, wasn't it? Oh goodness me, she's overcooked it into the Nouvelle chicane, and so she's going to have to go around again, unfortunately. Reflections out on the track as well then. And just on board now, as the Slayer said that Ginger track is all about confidence and me. Well, I'm just going to retire. Oh goodness me, there, Slayer. Of course, we seen last night in golf then, which I got to say, it felt really horrible not to commentate on gold last night. I must say, I think a piece of my heart was missing after last night. But I got to say, thank you for Nosey for covering for me, and I really enjoyed the coverage. Actually, I literally watched it back about 20 minutes ago as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff, and Nosey, really appreciate you stepping up to the plate very late on as well. I think I asked for the day off on Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure, to be fair. But there we go. So unfortunately, I'm not going to get my whole shebang of sweeties this week, and that's unfortunate because I was really fancying the Galaxy Bar, like one of the bigger ones. But never mind. I'll have to just work twice as hard next week in Baku, won't I? Here comes TK, then who comes into the lovely Sparks. Is it? Here is TK as well. Very downbeat was the last week, but I got to say the Alpine team is looking phenomenal, aren't they, this season? FIFA Beefy and TK have been absolutely monstrous, aren't they? And remember, FIFA Beefy, 1 lap before the end of the Spanish Grand Prix, did his best impression of Mika Hakkinen in 2001, where unfortunately he had fuel problems in there with 1 lap to go, and he didn't get that first Grand Prix win for FIFA Beefy at the moment. As TK goes second fastest, as I already mentioned, he was on pole position last season, wasn't he, TK? Reflection just going in as we got a debutant here for Leo Cat then. Hello Leo Cat, I hope you are in 0007, not 007 now. Let's see if he's got a license to thrill. And as he comes into the tunnel there, no sparks off a Leo Cat at the moment there. I love the helmet design as well. By the way, I think that my favourite helmet design was definitely from Percy last night. That was an absolutely beautiful helmet there. Percy making his debut in ALR last night. Great stuff indeed. We've also got Siege making his debut as well. We're on board with Siege as well. Can he siege today then? Maybe I might, I'm not going to put any more puns in here for now, am I? Because I think I should leave it there then. Maybe I'll get some, because I'm sure that in the film Siege, no, it's Under Siege, is with, what's his name? Seagull? Steven Seagull, isn't it? Or something like that. Or Seagull. No, Seagull. Seagull? Yeah, Seagull. Yeah, Seagull. I've only watched that film once. Is that where they're out in the like in the submarine or something? I'm not too sure. But there we go. But I used to be quite a avid fan of the old 80s and 90s action film now, like the classics like Lethal Weapon and Die Hard and all that kind of stuff. But yellow flag in Section 1. We've had no incidents so far in qualifying so far. Remember, we had a sprinkling of the wet stuff, didn't we, in qualifying 3, which shortened pole position last night. And I must say, I said last week about how great Jamie Enright was in bronze. Magnificent, wasn't he, in a bronze? Really set the bar. But Blaze last night, my goodness me, he was phenomenal, wasn't he? Almost 3/4 of a minute in front of anyone else. Siege comes across. Siege goes second fast there. The debutant is really loving life here in Monaco, is he? Well, I got to say, the beautiful thing about ALR is that is that, of course, we do qualifying and the race on the same day, so you can have a good qualifying, a good race, and then go out and enjoy yourself and party to your heart's content. Then what about Leo Cat? Then is he on board for now? Looking back then across the line then, and he gets a time on the board as well. The two reserves. Oh, he's in the wall. He just got fastest up, but unfortunately he's gone off and straight into the barrier Saint Devote. Then they usually say no heroics into Saint Devote there, but that's usually going into turn 1 on lap 1. But Leo Cat there has gone straight off. Massa crashed there quite heavily in 2013. He had a unusual problem because he crashed there twice in a very strange similar accident there, isn't it? You don't expect that, Felipe Massa, a runner-up in runner-up in Formula 1 back in 2008 there, of course, there. A very, and I've got to say, that emotional podium then after the 2008 Brazilian Grand Prix will live with me for a very long time. But yeah, Felipe Massa, that very unusual crashes there. We got a lot of crashes there, of course. Massa crashed. I think he went to the back of a Roman Grosjean. We got a problem, and it's a major problem as well. I think that it's Lewis G who's got off and into the barrier at the swimming pool. It is the second part of the swimming pool. It's oh goodness me, it's just almost around to Raskas. We haven't had a car there in a very long time, have we? I think that didn't we have we had a Simtech who tried to spin the car around. Wasn't it Mimo Schiatarella in '95? And of course that was unfortunately Simtech's last ever Grand Prix, wasn't it? For which is such a shame. I love the Simtech colours, and the beautiful purple. We just did Maldonado go full fast now. Good stuff indeed there from the Williams driver there. Lovely stuff there. There's Jake Desayer going across the line. He's gone 14 fast one, and Serge Masher is currently 15th in the Haas car as everyone is now out on circuit and they're really trying to get some times on the board there. I think it was Mimo Schiatarella, wasn't it, that tried to spin it around into around the Rascats there, and unfortunately that didn't go too well at all, did it? Which was a bit unfortunate really, wasn't it, for Schiatarella. Unfortunately that was Schiatarella's last ever F1 Grand Prix weekend as well, wasn't it? The Simtech bowed out for one at the end of that one, and ironically that's Monaco 95 was the last ever Grand Prix to have a full grid, mind you, as well. So that was the last time that the Formula 1 had a full grid then, which was 26 cars, wasn't it? Because that is the full allocated grid, wasn't it? Because before then we had a lot of cars in the early 90s and mid 80s, and there's Lewis G's wheel there. Goodness me, he's going to need that. Isn't he, for the race itself? So the marshals need to clear it out. But Serge Rusher going for second by the chair. Love the helmet design from Rusher. Goes across the line, he goes 13 fast then, and just moves away from the drop zone at the moment. And I was just going to Slayer. There he is. He's now into 11th position in the Red Bull. And his teammate Bradfield at the back of the field at the moment, unfortunately. So they're just going to see how they can do then later on in the race then, unfortunately. Yeah. Of course, they had pre-qualifying, didn't they, in the early 90s? So, of course, where they had on Friday, it was a pre-qualifying session where I think it wasn't like the lowest of the teams in the constructors or something like that. There, where you had to go out and pre-qualify. I think it was, wasn't it, or something like that? I'm not too sure, to be fair. My goodness me, that was a long time ago, wasn't it? Where they had the La Rousse, they had the Andrea Moda cars. We also had the 40s. I think the 40s came after the pre-qualifying. We had the Pacific Grand Prix cars. Simtech, I think, was 94, wasn't it, when they first debuted? Unfortunately, Lotus was in the bottom cars as well, weren't they? When they was on a pretty difficult end of their career lifespan in Formula 1, which is such a shame, isn't it, for Lotus, because towards the end of the career they were very much near the bottom of the time sheets, weren't they? So just watching career they coming out of the Nouvelle Chicane. Right then, 4 minutes to go in this qualifier session. This is flying by, isn't it? Liam is saying, good luck, Silver. German saying you deserve more than a Galaxy Bar short. You deserve one of them Christmas multi-packs. Oh yes. I don't think that's a good idea, Gerben, because you've really now got me. Really got me excited. And of course, for Christmas, and that is when we're aiming to finish the season 6 of ALR. But I'm hoping for a selection box or 4. So that'll be great stuff indeed. Then, so hopefully the admins will get me that for Christmas. Then Vital has gone into 6 fast at the moment in the Mercedes head. I think since return to silver after having a season in gold, then Vital is. I think this is his spiritual home, isn't it, in ALR? And so fantastic stuff indeed. Then TK the Nouvelle Chicane as well before accelerated away. course, and I didn't just crash into the pit lane. No, I definitely didn't there. Don't worry, Gordo. The great and the good have done that as well. Like, oh, that wheel's still there. David Coulthard, the great, the good, Farf. Of course, Farf has been to the pit wall quite a few times as well. And I'm sure that did Maldonado go to the pit wall in Spain as well. As TK is very happy with that, isn't she? Because of the Marquis back out on circuit as well. Marquis, we had a good qualifying, didn't he? But unfortunately, the race didn't go too well at all for Marquis. He was my star at qualifying as well. But unfortunately, as soon as I did that, I put the commentator's curse on him, didn't I? And luckily for me, the commentator's curse there also struck for Nosey as well. Then, so you can't blame me too often now, can you? As Nosey did that a couple of times as well. We only had 11 finishers last night out of the 19 that started in the Monaco Grand Prix. But I must say it was a cracking race, wasn't it? We didn't have any safety cars at all, which I think is the first time in ALR history that we haven't had no safety cars in the Monaco Grand Prix. Siege is back out on circuit as well. He's looking a very quick cat, isn't he? And talking to quick cats, and Leo Cat is currently leading the way in qualifying 1 minute. 10th a second up then into the Mirabeau hairpin as well. 11:17 there. Going into the Lowe's hairpin as well, which I don't think is called Lowe's anymore, is it? But there we go. And now coming into Portier as well. We had a crash here, didn't we, last night? I think was it John Cox who actually crashed there. Unfortunately, John is having a bit of a miserable ALR season so far, but I hope he's having a cracking day today because this is his birthday today. Happy 28th birthday there to our favourite British Italian driver, Jonathan Cox there. Of course, he did crash into Portier. That's where in centre. Oh gosh, there, and Siege there has got off at the swimming pool section there. He's on a glancing blow with the barrier. Unfortunately, that glancing blow has ripped off the end plate of that McLaren, so he's back into the pit lane now. As he's got a default helmet there, so absolutely disgraceful that. We've got reflections out of qualifying. Lewis G, Bradfield and Wilson's out of qualifying as well. What about Gunnar? Gunnar has got a minute to get himself sorted out, as Gunnar still got the orange helmet, and it's a tribute to the Marshal. Unfortunately lost his life last weekend, not last weekend, the weekend before, in the Brands Hatch, in the race at Brands Hatch, and as Gunnar comes in to the pit lane now then. Gosh, I'm sweating. And that's not good, is it? On board demonstration. I've got a really itchy finger. I don't know. Is it itchy hands? It means you get money in. I'm not sure really. Or is it itchy feet? I don't know. But there we go. Anyway, enough about that. Serious Russian now who's now coming up into Tobacco. Martin Brunner had a huge accident there in 84, was it? Or 83? I think it's 84, wasn't it? Whereas Turo had to, they had to roll that Turo back over. He ran back to the garage there. They asked him what day it was or something like that. And he got back in the car straight away. There you go. How times have changed. I don't think that would have been the case this time around then, because I'm sure because he was a bit dazed, wasn't he, Martin Brunner was. Serious Russian now up to 11 finish. I think we lost our 5 Solus drivers, unfortunately, in this qualifying session. Unfortunately, Marquis up into 6th position now. Of course, Marquis scored on his debut, didn't he, in ALR? So he really shown that he has potential. This young man does, doesn't he? In the Aston Martin cars, teammate Gunnar down in 70th position now. But we got to see a classic Aston Martin in qualifying too here on this classic circuit in the Monaco Grand Prix. Sorry guys, I'm completely ignoring you. 17 podiums in 2 seasons there for top tier for WNR there for Siege. Come on, get those points for McLaren. Siege for the win then, goodness me. So he's come here with a great bit of pedigree, as the Siege has said. And yes, I'm not going to do any more Siege days, I swear. Actually, I will. If he wins or gets a podium, I will be doing that. Lewis G, not a clue how I was spun then. Unfortunately for Lewis G, but he's out in 18th position there. But don't worry, Lewis G, as we already mentioned there, Fredson's been off there in 2003. We also had Leclerc, but I think the French rolled it was a bit further on back then. Tango, evening Sean, nice to see you back. You must have took Burnt with you as well. I was happy with the podium now. Indeed, Tango had his best performance of the season, didn't he, last night? Absolutely fantastic indeed, and great to see him back on the podium as well. And really, I just think if Blaze was a racer last night, Tango would have got his first ever Grand Prix win. But of course, F1 spells backwards as if. Well, that's my favourite saying at the moment. I love it. But yeah, Tango, fantastic performance as well. My heart was seeping, when Tango left the session. There were a couple laps to go, but how great was it to see him up into a phenomenal second position now. Of course, he didn't get no penalties at all, did he? And he was a very strong second position one. Hopefully that is the start of good things to come. Tango's hopefully getting his hopefully getting a new PlayStation as well, so hopefully all these technical issues will be a thing of the past. I really hope so. Just taking a look at the classification for qualifying one then. Leo Cat then. Well, he's definitely, it's not top dog, it's top cat then. And he is fastest so far. And look at the times at the top there. Curly, 62 hundredths of a second away. New Potato, 12 hundredths of a second away as well. Fantastic stuff indeed then. I'm loving that top. But just going to take a look at the bottom then. Wilson down in 20th position there. Bradfield down in 19th position. They got some hard work to do in the race. So is Lewis G. Gunnar in 70th position. And 16th position is Reflex as well. That is the bottom 5 drivers in qualifying one, who'll be having a shower now. Becca Jones saying happy birthday. I think that's to Jonathan. I think that's to Jonathan Cox said. Yes, indeed. Then, of course, Jonathan. Happy birthday indeed. I do. If it's anyone else's birthday out there, I wish you all a happy birthday as well. Gordon saying that was rubbish. I mean, there was a lot of time in it, but still disappointed. Then Slayer saying didn't go again. Then 10.6 is nearly the best I could do. That's a lot better than me. I can't even get into the 15s around here. So good stuff indeed there for Slayer. But just shows how competitive Silver is this season. Fantastic stuff. Gordo's also saying, and I've used 2 sets. Brilliant. Now I'm not sure if Gordo is the best poker player in the world, or is he, or maybe he is just tying us into a false sense of security. Becca saying that no pace, just vibes and survival at the moment. Then I like that, vibes and survival. That's kind of how I live my life, really. We've got Slayer saying no pace. You're in the top 5 in the 9 set for Slayer. Then that's a very good point. Then Lewis G saying absolutely bottled qualified. Full moon saying I did a 10.6 and was very nearly my limit. Then I think I would have been in the 9s then for Lewis G as well. As Dan just messaged me. Excellent stuff indeed. I'll need to read that a bit later on. Yeah, we're just now on board with Vitor. Then he's at the top of the hill as well. Then, yes. Anyway, what I was saying then, Marski got a very good put. He said that after the race in Spain last week, that he was very happy with a point, and it felt like a win to him as he's been really struggling hasn't he, Marski? Remember, Marski is coming for bronze, and Marski's no slouch in a Formula 1 car, but these cars are slightly different to 2020, aren't they? I wonder if I know Marski will get there. He is a very quick customer, to say the very least, isn't he? Marski is, and I think that I would like to see Marski. We'd like to see Marski really get there, wouldn't he? But of course, he's just got. I think that it's very time constraints, isn't it? Life is at the moment with all the stuff going on in the world, opening back up and all that kind of jazz. But yes, I do believe that Marski will get there, and I think that I do expect him to get there in the next couple of laps or so. A couple of rounds or so, indeed. But it's great to see Marski there, very much putting the work in, though, isn't it? It's really good stuff to see them, because much better man than I. Because when I struggle on F1, I'd usually just down tools and just go away and have a latte. And that's a lie, because I don't even like a latte. But there we go. Vitor then coming up the hill, then is going over the crest, so now coming down into Casino Square as well. Scuba Shoe, good evening all. Hello, Scuba Shoe. Serious Russian saying stuff it. I'm not going midfield then. Full moon saying yet you're in the midfield going into qualifying 2. I hate this place. I just want to I just want to live. I just want to leave. My mouth hurts. Oh goodness me. So with Serious Russian there is a bit downbeat on this. Of course, in this modern day, you probably wouldn't get no race on Monaco, would you? Because it's a very unusual track, to say the least. I must admit, I really despise Monaco. I must say, racing on it, but I love watching the ALR drivers go to work around here. It's absolutely phenomenal, isn't it, to watch them tackle the elements. And 80 drivers then that are going to be expected to be tackling this circuit over the next couple of days. And with Gold, 19 drivers from Gold already tackling, only 11 survived. Then hats off to Troy, to Mr. Elite, and to Dynamo Dan, who was my personal driver of the day actually in Gold. Fantastic stuff there. Of course, Murphy has now got 11 driver of the days in Gold. It's absolutely OP, isn't he? Vitor has gone fast. It's like good stuff indeed there for Vitor. Leo Cat is back out there having another bite of cherry. We've got McLaren a siege set, and he goes at fastest again and on an 091 then. This man is a quick customer, to say the least, and making his debut tonight in Silver. Great stuff indeed there for Siege, and I think it's his debut ever in full debut in ALR. Great. Here's Marski. That's over at Mirabeau as well. Yeah, hats off to Dynamo Downs, Roy Jordan, David, Mr. Lee, and Troy as well. Especially Troy, because he was a lap down after about 15-20 laps. But brilliant stuff indeed there to how he hang on to that. much better man than I am, as unfortunately when I go a lap down, my head just drops completely and I just struggle to keep myself in the game there. So really good stuff, man, love it. On board now then with young Tom, and he has joined lead in the World Championship for silver as the young Tommy is there. Young Tommy, that of course joined halfway through silver last season. He has been a revolution this season, as he was a revelation last season as well, really, young Tommy was. Of course, he was fighting an uphill battle, and he goes 11 faster, it was 4 faster on 11 in the Alpha Tauri car, and now building up there once again. Marky is into the lows. Here comes Leo Cat. He's third fastest mode. Then of course he was, as I've already mentioned, he was top cat in the. Yeah, sorry, the puns are not going to stop, are they? Morsky then into 48 as well. Because I missed last night. There's going to be a lot of puns on this, because I really have to make up for a night away then, really. First race I've ever missed a gold, actually. I've got to say, it did feel quite horrible, really. Serious mushroom now saying that show themselves refreshed, must be the new eyebrows. I do look absolutely fabulous, by the way. I look fabulous, darling. So, to be honest, one thing I would love actually is the people's eyebrows the Rock used to. I can't do it. I haven't got the muscles in my eyebrows to make them go up and down, which is really annoying. That is one thing I do want. Marsky will probably will be very happy with full position, and he will want to get through into qualifying 3. Well, so far so good. He is in the top 4. Great stuff indeed then for Marsky. As I quickly go back to Dylan, who's now just starting to stop. And here comes Washman. Let's go on board then with oh gosh, I've just deleted my spreadsheet. Oh god. Let's go on board then with Washman, and she now comes down to Mirabel as well. She's done an 18 for the first sector there, and dropping down into Mirabel as well. Now into the lows hairpin, then the slowest corner on the Fun 1 calendar. I've got to say, that was really impressive from Maldonado. How she took so much, as Marcia getting away there. That's really good from Maldonado. She took so much pace there going through the lows hairpin. That's really impressive, actually. I've got to say, because it's usually about 20 miles an hour I do it. Actually, to be fair, I go around there at 5 miles an hour through the lows hairpin. Out of Nouvelle chicane now, which I used to call the seafront chicane. I still going to call the seafront chicane somewhere around the line. Out of Tabac then. This is the part of the circuit then. Tabac, the swimming pool section. Look at that then. She is inch perfect. That's fantastic then. Into Rascas as well. Before accelerating away then. Now into Ansi Noakes then. Given the barrier of Ansi Noakes a wide berth there from Maldonado. She's used a lot of deployment, but she goes third fast. That was commitment. I love that lap. Dylan, the bronze champion, he goes 5th fast at the moment now in the AlphaTauri. Great stuff indeed then. Yeah, great time, great lap there from Maldonado. Really good stuff indeed then. Gordo, who's just far for his wingless there, goodness me. I think Mr. will be coming to sing to him in a minute then, of course. If anyone doesn't know that reference, that just shows how old I am. Gordo coming into the pit lane as well then. Now we've got Gordo. He's going to be seeing a Farf limping along then, but Farfar is taking a shortcut as well. The old version of the chicane then was it used to be a chicane, but a very quick chicane as well. And Prost went off there quite heavily in 1982, wasn't it? Of course, that was a Grand Prix where no one wanted to win then. Of course, we had Patrese led. Then we had Peroni led there before he ran out of field. Then we had Derek Daly, who was meant to lead in the race at one stage. And the Chiseres also out of the race as well. But then I think Patrese won the Grand Prix in the Brabant, didn't he? Now, that was a crazy old race then. 82 was a crazy old season there. Gordo goes 7th fastest then in the Ferrari. Great stuff indeed there for Gordo. Lovely stuff. Back on board, Curly, who's got my favourite helmet of the day so far in silver. Lovely stuff indeed. Accelerating away. And now as we flick it into Tabac then, Vintage said, evening, hello Vintage, hope you're well then. And I think the Curly has just gone off, just dropped back slightly, actually. So we've got a bit of a lull. And whilst we watch Curly, and let's quickly go to the comments there to say, hello, Sean, I hope you had a lovely time in Scousland. Yes, indeed, I did then. Of course, I had a couple of free tickets then to go to Anfield, and that's the first time I've ever been to Anfield, so yeah, that's where I was then. My wheels were not stolen or anything like that, because it wasn't my car, so luckily for me, I was all good. Yeah, I really had a good time. It was friendly against Atletico Bilbao, so really cool actually. First time I've ever been to Anfield. Probably the last for some time, because I think we spent a total of 8 hours in the car. So, and a lot of it was only meant to be a 2.5 hour drive from where I live. But gosh, there's a lot of roadworks. My word then. But yes, I've experienced it, and I don't think I won't be going again now on a Sunday. That is for sure. Or Monday, or Tuesday, or Wednesday. So hopefully Liverpool get the Europa League, or have a Saturday lunchtime kickoff, or Friday kickoff. Otherwise, that would be hard luck. That'd be hard luck for Keith, wouldn't it? Because Curly there, who has a representative time just yet in the Mercedes, coming down to the Nouvelle chicane then. Accelerated away there. So Vintage saying, nice helmet indeed. Lovely stuff. And of course, I think Vintage does share my love for helmets. We I do love a good helmet. I think it's my favourite part about commentating. I think I do love watching people's helmets as we're just watching Mercedes of currently going into race car. Just Russia, what Rich thought this would be a good track then. I think it's Anthony Noakes, wasn't it? And that's why the last corner is actually named after Anthony Noakes. He was the founder of the Monaco Grand Prix, I think it was. Someone's going to have to Google that for me or fact check that, because I'm not sure if that's right or not. I heard that of James Allen back in 2006, 7 or 8 when ITV was doing Formula 1 then, but I'm sure that's what he said then. But before then, by the way, as well, I was a very good boy, because I must say, I was quite PC back then. I used to just go to college and you sit in front of the classes and love it life. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I think a lot of my years back then were good straight on F1 really. Lovely sparks then of TK then. Remember, he was on pole position last season as well. TK was as he goes for the new Val chicane, accelerated away. Oh gosh, he gone the little pedal too hard there, and he's had a bit of a squirrel, unfortunately. Because of that squirrel, he is going to have another go there. Farfen, who's got a wing this time then, so he should be able to carry on there in the Hans car as well. One car left in this qualifying session now. TK's rear tyres are absolutely smoking hot then. Of course, in terms of the tyres, and I don't know what to talk about tyres, you might be tired of the tyre talk, but of course, this is the softest range of the Pirelli rubber, isn't it? You used to have the hyper soft, ultra soft, and super soft, didn't we? Which I quite like personally, because I quite like the different colour of Pirelli tyres. It just made it feel different to me, but there we go. So we accelerated away, and here we go to the front. So then Tango saying, yeah, as usual, facts are correct then. Lovely stuff, Ben. I'm glad that was, because I was actually sweating a bit there, because I thought I got that completely wrong when I was making it up. Farf, lovely helmets on Farf, by the way. Farfed usually wants to have a good helmet, but that's an absolutely cracking helmet design then. It must be special. It must be special then for the Monaco Grand Prix. Into Lewis Airpin, New Potato, who's been usually the benchmark on one lap pace, is down in 14th prediction mode, and yellow flag in 1 and 3. Remember, so far in silver, it's been a Williams monopoly, hasn't it, in terms of in terms of qualifying so far. As Slayer there is that's not legal, unfortunately, for Slayer, so he's going to have another time on the board there. So in qualifying 2, I haven't even done my usual spiel about qualifying 2, but of course qualifying 2 is about the getting through the qualifying 3, and hopefully getting through qualifying 3 with the best strategies, then, isn't it? I think TK just moved up to 6, like there's something that. What about New Potato then? Accelerating away. Only one DRS zone here. I think, as of course, they could, the other place they can only have the DRS zone is through the tunnel, but I don't think they can do that, can they? Because it would really upset the aerodynamics or something like that. Of course, I think it just would be unsafe, wouldn't it? Because air performs differently when you're in like a tunnel kind of thing, which I suppose doesn't make sense, really, but I'm not really I'm not an airbender like Adrian Newey. Of course, that man is absolutely fantastic, isn't he? And I've heard a whisper or two. I think I was having a quick natter with Emerson and Dan a couple of days ago, perhaps, and then Adrian Newey's son is also starting to get involved as well. I do feel old when I see as that young Tommy go talking of not so old. It's young Tommy who's going his way fast at the moment. But I do feel very old then when. Gordo has retired from qualifying here, and he's down in 12th position, and that's our second retirement. He's off in 48 and of course I think we had issues. I think it was Jonathan that went off fair last night. Ayrton Senna went off fair in 1988 then when he was in a league of his own, wasn't he? Yes, it is. That's also where I think it was Verline, wasn't it, in the Sauber, who was tipped over there, wasn't he, by Jenson Button in his final ever race as well. If Button ever returned to F1, I think he's got a 5-place grid penalty waiting for that misdemeanor there. But unfortunately for Gordo, he's out of qualifying, and that is such a shame. We've got about a minute and 50 to go in this race. Look how condensed this place is there. There's rather a long shot there, and we were seeing a run up into Casino Square as well, weren't we, to the left-hand side of that shot. Young Tommy there, who's I think we'll come back to the pit there. Markey has done 2 free laps on this Aston Martin car now, and this is going to be the 4th lap then, but he goes 11th fastest. No, we make that 10th fastest there, and Markey is through into qualifying 3 as it stands. But there is a very quick Dylan up there. Marsky as well, who's just starting out. Sorry, got Will Slayer as well. Malnar's retired from the session in a very strong third position there. New Potatoes back in the pits as well. It's getting very precarious for a couple of drivers out there, isn't it? the new potato saying then a good time there for Irish potato. Lovely stuff indeed. Sorry, Irish mushroom would say. When I'm trying to get it wrong, I get it right, don't I? From Irish mushroom there. Good at saying I am a fool then, or we could go to a proper track then. Of course, I don't think I personally. I would miss Monaco. I think I missed it last season. Yes, it's a bit of a concession, isn't it, sometimes? But I think the skill of football. I love this shot, Monaco. That's fantastic, isn't it? Look at that then. Right beside Marski's head there. Oh, he's invalidated this time, Marski. So he's got 40 seconds then. If he could get around, he should be able to get around and do another like that. Dylan there, who's just started up as well. It's the pressure, isn't it, on the Saturday? Because I think that this Grand Prix is all about the Saturday, isn't it? And sometimes you like to reward the good qualifiers, don't you? Remember, one qualifier is very much rewarded handsomely in the 2004 Monaco Grand Prix. That was Jarno Trulli, wasn't it? His one and only Grand Prix win as well for Trulli. And of course, that's a driver like Fisichella, isn't it? With two drivers that had absolutely umpteen potential there, but unfortunately, he didn't really live up to that, did he? But yeah, of course, that was a cracking race, wasn't it? Of course, there's not many races in 2004 that lives long in the memory, but that one certainly does. Of course, there was Schumacher Montoya came to blows. Oh my gosh, Dylan has just completely gone off the circuit. That is such a shame for Dylan, as I didn't know what happened there, but Dylan may have possibly and has been robbed of getting into qualifying free here, and that is a crucial part of this season. I think that Sarah is out of qualifying. What about Marski? He's at 302nd down, and Dylan is going to be out of qualifying because he left the session at the worst possible time then, and that is absolute heartbreak, isn't it, for the bronze world champion, for the man who's leading this world championship in silver as well, after getting a Grand Prix win on his debut in silver. And what an incredible Grand Prix it was indeed then. Just watch Marski down into the new Vouch came for accelerating weight, so Dylan is going to be fuming from it. Fuming there. Steam is going to be coming out of both ears, I think, of Dylan then. And Marski's the 10th for second up in the second split time. He needs a bit more, though. He needs a bit more. Marski does that as he now comes into Raskas, and of course, that is a bar that's usually, very much jumping up and down on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and probably Monday nights, actually. Marski goes across the line. He goes to them fastest there. And I think he displaces Dylan, who's down to 12th position. So Marski is through into. No, he isn't. He's out of qualified too, I should say then. So then, as I just take a look, then Siege then, who's quickest so far on the soft tire, the only driver to go on the soft tire, Siege is then. That's a very interesting cause. The two reserve drivers then are absolutely flying in this qualifying session mode. First and second so far. Leo Cat in second position. Maldonado is the first of the regular drivers in third position, and Leo Cat is the first of the medium runners so far. Out of qualifying then, we lost Cirrus Mushroom then. Jake DeSera in 14th position. Gordon in 13th. Dylan, who should have been in qualifying too, unfortunately had connection issues. He's down in 12th position now. Marski in 11th position there, and that might be a golden ticket for some major points for Marski tonight, and it's great to see him very, very much back in the thick of the action. However, track position is king around here, isn't it? And perhaps you would rather be higher at the grid than with a not so good strategy. And Gordo saying that's the worst mistake I have ever made there. So Gordo then is kicking himself there. But don't worry, Gordo. Aaron Setter has done that in 88 then. So you're in very esteemed company. And also, Jens Budd has made a mistake there as well. As Ruel mentioned, he tipped Verlon off. We also had a cracking overtake. Wasn't it Hulkenberg on someone in 2018 or 17? I can't remember when he was drawing the Renault, I think it was. It was a cracking overtake. As we're into qualifying at 3 now then. It's on an outlap as well though with Florida got into the wall, no chance now. Oh dear, I didn't read that second part, Gordon, but no worries, good circles. That is not where the points are held out though, not handed out them, but I did say earlier on the broadcasting, this is qualifying, it's quite important, isn't it? Liam saying, come on, Naked Spud as well as Naked Spud then, and to go for second pole position of the season, and I think it's his third pole position of his, in his 8th pole position of his career, if I'm not very much mistaken. And whoopsie, he almost. Oh gosh, that would have been too good. That was as the surfer saying, these times are very close to goal, don't they? They very much are indeed. That unfortunately, though, even when I don't commentate on gold, I still don't know what the times are. I'm absolutely shambles. I don't really am. I tell you, I wouldn't be against it being a qualifying track, but it doesn't work as a race track. There, Tango was saying. Then I think that someone on I can't remember who it was. That I'm wondering if it might be. Now. Gosh, that's important, isn't it? But there is someone on YouTube there. I think it's Tomo, isn't it? That used to it's a Firefire's taking a shortcut. I think it was Tomo that redesigns tracks to make them better. And I'm sure he tried to do one for Monaco. And the only place where you could probably make it longer and better is actually at the at Casino Square, where you can go straight on potentially. But it's a very difficult one, isn't it? There, but Tango there, yeah, maybe a qualifying track then, but yeah, certainly not a racetrack. Well, some different kind. But to me personally, as much as Monaco, it can be a procession, and I really hate racing around here. I think if Monaco was on the F1 calendar, it just wouldn't feel. It just oh, Farfus kissed the outside of Sander Watt, and I don't think that that was not a French kiss Farf wanted at that stage. As he damaged the car, he's got a lot of understeer in that Haas car now, hasn't he? Farf having a couple of issues there to start off his lap, but he's gone purple in the first sector. Yellow flag then fluttering in the second. Where are we? Swimming pool. Slayer saying to damage my wing on the final lap then, and Serious Russia is agreeing with Tango here. Of course, maybe it being a qualifying track and not a very good race track. Yes, I definitely agree with that one. We've also got Formula moments then. If I get to the pits, if I get to the pits this race, we have learned how to hack the game. We've also got much saying, I like it if I'm not on it, but I had to show up. But I have a reputation to protect. Indeed, he does. That is Serious Russia's 67th Grand Prix start. Of course, he has not missed a single race, has he, in silver history? Currently up until the Bahrain Grand Prix, has never missed an ALR race. That's a fantastic stuff indeed. As we've got Troy then, who heads up Gordo long race there. Hats off to Troy as well. I think that fair play to him for carrying on last night. That was actually heroic. So I'm looking for young Tommy. There he is, and he comes across the line out, and he's fast as there at 10.1 there to start us on our journey. That's a car of TK, who's lost the whole of the wing section there. Marky has gone third fastest. Viton is on pole position by 9/10 of a second. Oh, he's in the wall, and Viton is out of qualifying there. He's just, someone hit him. And I'm not sure if someone hit him there, but Viton is out of qualifying, and he's now second on the grid. That is Leo Cat is now the fastest so far in this qualifying session. Oh, Viton then, and wow, that was a quality qualifying time, wasn't it? But unfortunately, as our Marshal's arm is going to be absolutely, it's going to be aching off that then. Leo Cat is on pole position on his debut here tonight. Well, Nardo has not set a time just yet, nor has her counterpart, New Potato Hero. Lovely shot for the diffuser here at the Williams car, and now we're going into the tunnel, and this famous shot as well. I remember this shot quite well. It's David Coulthard, Damon Hill's Renault car, Renault engine expired in the tunnel, didn't it? And it sounded like someone was trying to sneeze, didn't it, as he came out of the tunnel as well. As unfortunately, it's a foul for Graham Hill, won here 5 times. Damon Hill has never won the Monaco Grand Prix, unfortunately. Of course, I think the record is still held by Ayrton Senna with 6 Grand Prix wins, isn't it? A fantastic record around here for Ayrton Senna then. What about Noob Taylor? And he goes fastest there. He's in the 8th, and that's cracking time. And Maldonado has not got a time just yet. Oh, and she's also, oh goodness me, glancing below them with the barrier. As Siege there was 3 seconds up, but unfortunately he's invalidated his time now, so he's going to have to crawl back into the pits then. There's a New Potato then. He's currently fast at the moment. And as I've mentioned, this will be New Potato's second pole position of the season, and this will be New Potato's 9th pole position. I apologise, 9th pole position of his career then. Of course, I think he doesn't have the most pole positions in silver history. I think that it's 15, which is by Glock, isn't it? It is by Glock, who's got 15 pole positions to his name there. But yeah, he is 9th pole position tonight there for this man here, and he will only be 6 away then from the all-time record there, New Potato then, and he started off the season very nicely indeed then. As Curry saying, no, Viton then unfortunately out qualified. He's in third position, Viton is. He's about 9/10 of a second away from young Tommy there, so that's quite a mammoth time there. Quite a mammoth gap there. between Vital and Young Tommy, but the track is just going to get better and better, especially around here then, of course, with the street furniture being cleared away, and now Pirelli rubber is being laid onto the track now, and Pirelli rubber loves Pirelli rubber, don't they? And now just going to get more stickier and stickier indeed then. Now accelerated away then, coming into anti-Noakes then, accelerated away, and let's see what Siege can do then. Coming up to the line, Siege goes full faster than McLaren, but he's done 4 laps on those soft tyres. So, there's a wheel there of Vital there. I think the marshals the Monaco marshal is the best marshal in the world there, but I think they might need to think about cleaning up that wheel, the exit of Thunderbolt there. And just watching as we've got Mason saying hello, as Paige saying, oh hey Mason, as Mason is asking how is everyone. Tango is saying then that as TK is back in the pits there, so banning his time now. Young Tommy is out on track as well. What about Leo Cat then, who's also as well. So let's take a look at Leo Cat, who's second on the grid at the moment now, a couple of tenths away from New Potato, and comes over nice nose then to start his other. Tango saying in Monaco they are the best and the fastest marshals there. They are very good last night with no safety cars, of course, from all the crash there. Indeed, though, I think the marshals last night were, I've got to say, I don't know what they was on, but I want a bit of that. My word, that they was absolutely flying out there last night. How did they get no safety cars last night? It was brilliant, wasn't it? No virtual safety cars either in gold. Magnificent stuff. Indeed, that I'm sure some drivers would have loved those safety cars, wouldn't they? But one man who wouldn't love safety cars, Blaze, and absolutely brilliant driving. Indeed, that. There was a lot of fuel saving, I think, going on as well. There's a lot of drivers that may have underfueled the car expecting a humongous amount of safety cars, but not one at all there. I wonder if any of the drivers may have learned that lesson. Because remember in Spain as well, you had a couple of drivers who had 3 drivers, I think, they had to add fuel issues as well. Of course, the headline person who had the most fuel issues was FIFA Beefy, unfortunately, who cost him the Grand Prix win. We also had Wilson as well, who was a great, audacious strategy there from Wilson, Bradfield, and Dillon, and it really got him in the points later on, didn't it? I feel that because Wilson was out in front now, I think he might have been battling through the field there. As Leo Cat is on pole position, magnificent there, 4 tenths of a second in front of New Potato. Magical stuff indeed. What about Young Tommy? Coming to the line. Young Tommy's full fast. He's found 7 tenths of a second from somewhere. These times are very much evolving, aren't they? Oh my word! There, I wish my Pokemon would evolve and my Charmander to the Charmander. As Welshman are now accelerating up the hill, then she is now going into Casino Square then. As 3.5 minutes to go in this session, time is starting to ebb away from Welshman. She had a disappointing qualifying session from the race there. She was fantastic in Spain. As of course this race there is much more difficult to overtake than Spain, isn't it? Having said that, Spain have got a higher conversion rate in pole position than Monaco have, which is interesting, isn't it? I love that start, and that's a very interesting start indeed then. Accelerated away, now coming in to the tunnel as well, and flying past me now is Welsh Ronaldo, as of course Sarah, now she comes out of the tunnel and drop it down into the new chicane. That's a very quick entry into the new chicane, my word that. I think she was the fastest through there over the course of the qualifying session so far, magnificent. Marquis is in the tunnel, as Young Tommy is carrying on here then. Young Tommy 2 3/4 minutes to go. It's quite a short circle around here, we're less than 70 seconds a quick lap. It's Young Tommy is slower though in the final sector. Marquis is flying through the swimming pool section as well. The amount of cars we've seen go off in the second part of the swimming pool section is absolutely incredible, isn't it? You're very much at the edge of the limit and beyond, and your speed of the car and yourself is incredible. Marquis is coming across the line. Marquis stays 6th fastest but is improved by a second. Magnificent, really good stuff indeed. What about Farfan? Of course, Farfan has got himself into qualifying 3, and let's see what the car 15 can do there. Farfan accelerated across over Anthony Noakes, coming up to the line as well, and he comes across the line. Farfan goes 7 fast in front of TK at the moment, who has not set her time just yet. So here comes CJ, who's just dropping down the hill now and coming into Portier as well. Of course, Portier, there's a bigger board there now, isn't it, unfortunately? So you can't really see the seat. CJ flies past me as well, and now coming into the new Welsh chicane as well. Let me catch up that. So I say Esports time now from New Potato is equally an Esports time now from Leo Cat as well. Fantastic, as the Serious Question rightfully points out. It's an Esports league now. Of course, we are ALR Esports then. Even though we only do F1 at the moment, but we could expand our horizons then, can't we? And all that kind of jazz. But for now, it's Formula 1 is our bread and butter. We know which way our butter is breaded up then, or it's the other way around, butter. I don't know. Anyway, Siege is second fastest then, and he is on the front row of the grid here in the Monaco Grand Prix. That's where you want to be, and that's exactly where Siege is at the moment. Great stuff, Ben, for Siege. Absolutely mega stuff. So what about New Potato then, who's currently cruising? He's invalidated his time. Farfus the second down then, so he's going to ban his time. TK is also invalidated his time. Has he got enough time to come in and come back out? I don't think he has it. So it's all or nothing now. Farfus retired from the session then. TK was on pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix last season. He was incredible in Spain, and he could have and should have won the Spanish Grand Prix. He was very unlucky then. Coming into oh goodness me, it's the sound of what's on now, powering up the hill then. I think he's the only driver on a quick lap at the moment, isn't he? And now coming down into Casino Square. And just watching, just Serious Russian saying, welcome to Mason. He returns back into the comments as well. And we've also got Becca saying, an incoming bottle then, as I'm not sure if she is referencing it herself, but at the moment she's down in 10th position. Now, interesting, Maldonado is, she has got one lap now to sort that problem out. And can she do it then? Well, we're keeping an eye on Maldonado's progress. And Marky's in the pits then. Young Tommy's in the pits as well. The highest they're going to be starting is on the third row of the grid then. Siege is in the pits and Leo Cat is out to defend himself and his pole position time. And what can New Potato do then? 4 cars are going for pole position. Here is TK, who's on pole position last season. A glance and blower to back outside barrier into the second part of swimming pool as well. And hop, skipping a jump then. Lovely stuff then. Into Rascas as well. Breaking down the first gear. 30 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. Accelerates away into anti-nose then. Not taking too much the outside curve then, because it can suck you right into the barrier. And TK comes across the line. He's 7th fastest then. TK's no pole position this season. What about New Potato? He's second on the grid then, and Leo Cat is currently on pole position for the first ever LR race. Leo Cat is on pole position in the Alpine car, and this is incredible. And Alpine will love this. And Leo Cat has extended his pole position by 6/10 of a second. Magical, absolutely magnificent. What about Maldonado? She comes into the line then, and she goes, I don't know where she went then, because she jumped tired while I was sitting then on board then with Maldonado. But I think it's Leo Cat who's on pole position for his debut here in ALR Silver. Absolutely magical stuff indeed. He is 6/10 of a second. That is night and day, isn't it? That's absolutely magical. Which is my phrase of the day at the moment, isn't it? Leo Cat is first race here in ALR Silver, and that's pole position. 6/10 of a second there from New Potato in second position. Third position is Siege, and great performance there from Siege and Leo Cat making their debut tonight. Fantastic stuff. Maldonado in 4th position. 5th position, V-Tot. Young Tommy in 6th. Marky 7th. TK 8th. Farf in 9th position. And Curly is in 10th position. That is your top 10. That is your top 10 then for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix then. Here we go then, and let's get going for the start of the Grand Prix itself then. Becca saying incoming Blazer 2.0 then. Great stuff indeed then. And as we're now then getting us now starting the Grand Prix itself, and as of course says Bulky's got a bit of a audience there, hasn't it? There's Liam and of course Kakarot Goku. Welcome him back, Bulky, in the comments. Good stuff indeed then. Right then. Anyway, let's go on with the race, shall we then? So yes, Leo Cat on pole position in his first race in the LR Silver. Magical stuff, just like Blaze last night. Exactly what Rebecca's saying now. Very much hit the nail on the head then. So Liam saying, meow, what a lap. Good stuff indeed then. Of course, I'm going to keep the cat puns to a very limit, to a limit anyway, as much as I can then. Perhaps it's probably because I can't even think of any at the moment then, so it's really poor form then, isn't it? Kakarot Goku brought Leo Cat in then. Oh goodness me then, so it's definitely Kakarot Goku's fault, and this man has turned up and has absolutely been incredible, blown the competition away so far. 6/10 of a second is mammoth, isn't it? Around a 70-second lap, less than a 70-second lap is pretty impressive. Around here as well, fantastic stuff indeed then, as Liam now carries on there with he is a pound straight to P1 then, when Sean finally remembers I am Bulky. I always remember your Bulky, my good sir, as we have now on the formation of that for the start of the Monaco Grand Prix. I can't remember where we are, but I can't remember where we are, Mason, so yeah. Anyway, let's get going, shall we? Right then. Liam is also saying, what a laugh, a cat amongst the pigeons then. Keep on coming in, guys. I do love a pun or three. Right then, let's go through the grid, shall we, from front to back then. And, oh God. Right, I go have to turn the comments off because they're tickling me. Right, we got Leo Cat, who's on pole position then for the Monaco Grand Prix on his debut. fastest, my word, then 6/10 second in front of New Potato, who's second. Then, of course, this is the first time that we've got a non-Williams car on pole position the first 3 races, but then the first time that we've had a non-blue car on pole position there, because I think blue is definitely the colour, as I'm now starting to sing I-465. Siege on the soft tyres in 3rd position, so he's going to be quite quick off the line going to turn 1, but it's the shortest run from turn 1 down to the first corner. Maldonado really saved her bacon, didn't she, in a 4th position there after she was 10th right up until the dying seconds of qualifying. Vital was on the front row. I think Vital could potentially be on pole position. He is very quick on the streets of Monaco. He's a very quick qualifier as well. Combine that, he is a fantastic driver in Monaco. Young Tommy in 6th position now, and we're already at the end of the lap then. Marquis is 7th, and Marquis, I'm not going to say anything about Marquis because he had an appalling race in Spain. TK in 8th position, he was on pole position, was he, last season? This season in 8th position, far from 9th. 10th is Kearney. Marsky is on the hard tires in 11th position, so Marsky is going to go extra long then. Dylan, the joint leader of the championship with young Tommy, his teammate, in 12th position on the medium tires. Gordo in 13th for the medium tires. Slayer in 14th position on the hard tires. Cirrus Musher in 15th on the hard tires. Reflection 16th hard tires. 17th Gooner hard tires. Lewis G, he's going soft. He's 18th position. Bradfield in 19th. He's gone hard. 20th position is Wilson. Liam D, sorry, Liam C, Liam saying certainly was not told by a whisker. You know, I think that's my favourite one. I quite like that. As he says, we're going to stop now. To be honest, I've actually screenshot these ready for when Leo Cat's back in, because I obviously like to take the glory. Right then, the lights are on. Then when are we going off? And it's go for the Monaco Grand Prix straight from the get-go, and Siege has flown away then off the line there. But look at this, Leo Cat has got a fantastic start there. And we go, and that's an Alpha Tauri that's gone into the wall there. And we're going up the hill as well. And look at this then. So we got Maldonado in front position as well. And we got yellow flags down. Something has gone curling wrong there, and it's Liam G who has had some major incentives, dropped right to the back of the field there. New Potato is not leading the Grand Prix as my tower starting to sort itself out. Liam D is down in 30th position, he's dropped back slightly. Leo Cat leads in 2nd position, New Potato 3rd is Siege. Welsh Maldonado is a lap down, but no, she's not in 4th position. 5th position is Vital as we go through the Lowe's hairpin, as that was an overtake. That was Gordo that's just gone past Marsky. Marsky is down into 11th position now, back in the position where he started. Gordo's taken off fantastically well. He's up 3 positions. Gordo is, but Marsky is all over the back of him like a rash set. And now we're coming into the new Val chicane as well. We're on board then. 39 laps around this Grand Prix. I read a comment last night that it's the most lappage in all of the tracks on the calendar. Indeed it is. 39 laps. That's a lot of lappage. It really is indeed then. And yellow flag into what is going on into Serious Rush, drop right to the back of the field. It's down 4 position there. That's a wingless Lewis G then on the soft tyres in the Alfa Romeo. That one completed. The gap is 7/10 of a second already. Young Tommy's had to come in the pits, so major problems for young Tommy. Look at that then. The gap is well, it's not over 70 seconds. That's CJ in 1st position on the soft tyres. Welsh one out in 4th position. Vital is in 5th. TK 6th. Far for 7th. 8th position is Marsky. 9th is Gordo. Marsky is in 10th position there. Right underneath the rear wing of Marsky is Curly, as he is dropped down into 11th position. He's dropped down 2 positions off the start, and so Curly then back up into 11th position now. He's the Grand Prix winner of the Spanish Grand Prix last time out, and let's see if he can let's see what he can do there. We've got so there's a tower tries to sort itself out, and of course the gaps are not as big as that, as we've only just got going, haven't we? But yeah, we've got a bit of a queue formed by Marsky there, but Marsky earned his right to be this high from that good qualifying performance there, and he is not going to yield then, and we don't want to see him yield either, do we, Marsky there? As of course absolutely impressive stuff indeed there. As unfortunately I think Lewis G got involved in some kind of issues into turn 1 then, as Curry's having a look then down to the new Val chicane, but no dice just yet as we go over the curbs as well then. You got to ride those curbs out. Marsky is now going to be I think he's going to be the cork in the bottle now, isn't he? And there he is. So Gordo's already a second back, and Slayer's already got a 3-second penalty down in 17th position as well. He's dropped down as young Tommy dropped down 60 position. He's left the session, young Tommy has. Of course he's joined the lead in the World Championship, so that is not good at all, is it? As we come through anti-notes for the 3rd time already. 2 seconds already gap between Leo Cat and New Potato. That's a fantastic start then to his Silver Grand Prix career as we go into Sandoval for accelerating up the hill. Look at this end, and now Curly is all over the back of him, isn't he? Goodness me, and he's really pushing Marsky. Marsky, who is on the medium tires at the moment there, but Curly Red is the hard tires then. So Curly's got the entire advantage about it. He really wants to make it work as well. Bradfield's got past Reflection there. He's dropped down 2 positions. The Ferrari driver has problems with the Ferrari. And Brad, as Tommy's back in the session. Good stuff indeed there. Lovely shot here for the diffuser of Marsky. Look at Curly there. He is all over Marsky. He's really putting pressure on the Alfa Romeo driver. I think Curly needs to get past Marsky as quickly as possible. And look at this, he's going this way. That's a manoeuvre on the inside there. That's a great manoeuvre there. But Marsky is trying to come back out. He's got a 3-second penalty. There's contact there between Curly and Marsky. It was a great manoeuvre at first there, but it got a bit messy towards the end of that one. But that was a cracking manoeuvre from Curly. He needs to get by, though, didn't he? Because he was losing touch on the top 9. Just watching Dylan now as he is now the next driver there to and Marsky's in the pits, and Marsky is going to be furious. And it was only a glancing blow, was it? But that blow is enough there to force him into the pits, and the Alfa Romeo mechanics then are getting ready, and there they are, and they're in, and they're getting ready. And there's a lovely shot here, lovely stuff indeed. He's now onto the medium tires. Marsky is in, and of course so he has done 2 types of compounds on this race then, and now then before he accelerates back out. Bradfield's in the pits as well for the Red Bull. That's another schedule stop there for Bradfield. He's now coming out of the pits on the hard tire as well, as we've got a beautiful shot of that safety car there. Of course, it's the red safety car, isn't it? 2 seconds to go between Leo, Cat, and New Potato. When he is running away from this race, isn't he? He's scampering off into this. It's Potato in second position at the moment. Further Siege with Maldonado in 4th position. The top 4 at the moment they're in a league of their own. V-Todd is 3 seconds back at the moment. V-Todd is kind of in no man's land. Then TK in 6th position, Farf in 7th. And we've got Curly, who has now got past Gordo. As he's flying, Curly is there. My word there, he is absolutely flying through the field then, Curtis. He is, oh goodness me, he's a monster, an absolute monster at the moment. And Dylan's also been released as well after unfortunately Marsky had to come in the pits. Marsky's in the 15th position. Farf is in the pits. We are expecting a lot of pit stops here tonight there because the bars are so close together, isn't it? Very much so. No room for error here. And a great shot of getting them now into the pits on the hard tires. Farf is can the hard tires get to the end from here? Well, we're going to have to find out, aren't we? As he is now coming out of the pits as well. And there he goes. Wilson up to a fantastic 11th position. Fine stuff indeed. Back on board, Curly then. Helmet of the day. Also trying to get the driver of the day as well. He's had a look at the mirror, boys. Goodness gracious me. And Gordo is left in the space, hasn't he? That would have been audacious to say the very least, wouldn't it? Marsky has got up into 40th position now as well. Reflections, the second Ferrari, has come into the pits there. Unfortunately for Reflections there as well. We've also got Gunnar in the pits as well. And Cirrus Mushroom also in the pits then. As it looks like that there's a couple of drivers that come in the pits then. This is proceedings. TK's got a 3-second penalty. There's 3 cars now that has penalties. The gap at the front then is 2.4 seconds. About New Potato has raced more laps around here than he has in every other circuit so far. He's actually, he's done a lot more laps and almost 6 times more laps than he's done recently up till now. So good stuff indeed for New Potato, and he is not going involved in any issues there. And now he is doing a strong point. He hasn't scored any points yet so far in the Silver Championship. And New Potato then, who of course the first ever Bronze World Champion, is in second position. Well, not having much to write home about at the moment. As now on board then Curly is flying. He's going on the outside. Oh, go! Oh, goodness me! Gordo's going to force him off there. Oh, my word! And Curly, they get a bit squirrely on the exit there. Look at the caliber! Look at the caliber of these drivers there. Very much fighting tooth and nail. And Curly and Dylan, 2 Grand Prix winners in the first 2 races here in ALR Silver. Curly won the Spanish Grand Prix. Dylan won the Bahrain Grand Prix. Gordo, who should have been a 2-time Grand Prix winner in the Canadian and the Italian Grand Prix, though. But of course, Maldonado won the Canadian Grand Prix, whilst Ayrton won. I was going to say Ayrton Senna, and then Ayrton. Well, it wouldn't be too wrong, would it? Because of course Ayrton Senna did win the Italian Grand Prix. But more about our Ayrton now, the ALR Ayrton, who is currently currently won the Italian. It's a close ball on track one. Curly there, who's very much trying to get past. Let me take a look at the comments then, shall we? As we've got Mason as we just take a look. There's why we got Liam saying, now let the fuel saving begin then. As Mason saying, yes, I'm enjoying this stunning race so far. It's been a very good stunning race as well. It's 7 laps into the Grand Prix. As Leo Cat is flying at the moment, isn't he? But Curly is still all over the ball, and Dylan's in the pits. Is this a schedule stop for Dylan? And Curly having a look on the inside. No dice at the moment. Into the pits side comes Dylan, and he has to change the nose cone, Dylan. So it's not a oh my gosh, it is not a it's not a schedule stop at all. So look at Gordo though, he has not given up. They're now 6 seconds behind Marquis, who's in 7th position there. As Marquis, of course, had a miserable time in Spain, and so he's back in the points, and great stuff to see. Marquis doing a good run at the moment. Dylan down into 14th position. Remember, track position is king around here, isn't it? As the field spread around here is quite extreme, isn't it? Of course, I know a lot of slow corners. You can only get on the power a car's width after the car in front, and of course, which does make a bit of sense. It's quite there we go. I do like to point out the obvious there. Lovely, look at this, and now let's just go on board then with the Spanish Grand Prix winner then. He is now coming into back as well, and he's really very much putting Gordo under pressure now as the Curly is. Look at this, and the skill of the drivers is absolutely magnificent. Into the pits there comes Curly, not Curly, so TK is in the pits there, as there doesn't look any damage at all on these wings, does it? But these, I think that Nosey said last night in the gold broadcast that even when they don't look damaged, and they are damaged, and there's a lot of damage as well, isn't there? Because if you get a lot of damage on these front wings, then it's going to be a long race, and it's going to be Understeer City then, which will just damage those tyres, won't it? I'm talking of Understeer City, goodness me. I think that Gordo was going off into the Duval chicane now. My word! Oh, Curly now, goodness me, wrestling that car, isn't there? As he is really putting the pressure on the Ferrari driver. Yellow flag. As TK is spun off then into Sandoval then, and Marsky back on the top position. TK's just coming to the pits there, and now he's got damage, and look at this, and it's Dylan there having to take evasive action there as well as TK is trying to let him through, but it's got a bit messy there, and I think Dylan has damaged the car. I can't just take a look on the front end, but I think that just got a bit too messy there, didn't it, at the top of the hill, unfortunately. And just take a look at that front nose cone. Again, we can't see if it's damaged or not. Curly is still behind. Gordo. He's going to be able to draw that diffusion by the end of this race, isn't he? Curly is 3 laps to go. 3! Oh my word! Then as I've got Lewis G, who's had a couple of issues there in the. Jake Slayer's in the pits as well. As I go there, as I go to Jake Slayer as well. So let's go back to this battle here. I'm enjoying this one. It's cracking some lead. I don't think Curly is though. As Curly is now 8 seconds behind. They're losing seconds per lap now to Markey. And so the top 6 are going to be able to have a lovely buffer. And Curly up the inside. Oh my goodness me, there into Sandoval. Not quite then. As of course, look, there's Wilson in the background from 20th on the grid. It's over to 9th. Wilson having an absolute storming party opening race here. Oh, brilliant stuff indeed. They were saying well safe and Tango the rear of that Mercedes looks like it's on ice then, and goodness me, it is on ice. Then Curtis is having a look again then. 5-second penalty for Slayer as Lewis G is out of the race then. And where has he gone then, Lewis G? As I'm just taking a look then. Into the pits there comes TK as well. TK is also called it a day as well, unfortunately. And it's the oh goodness me, I think I found what the issue is. As TK's up possession and no safety cars then as into the second part of the swimming pool back. I've got all the way around there. So we've lost Lewis G, we've also lost TK as well. TK then unfortunately on a miserable time like that as well. And as we're just on board with Curly as well. Gertman is saying I'm starting to think that Sean paid off. Did Curly go off there? I'm not sure. I just looked up and I seen him spying around slightly. He's not coming to the pits then, so he looks like he's all fine. Gurman saying I think Sean paid off Bert for the week then. Yes, I think that Bert might have joined me in Anfield, and now he's probably watching Anfield. Oh, Curly's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles there, and that is not good at all, is it, for Curly? So he's got a 3-second penalty. Of course, that may come back to Holmes later on then, but we'll soon find out then. But yeah, if Bert Molander is taking vacation, then of course then I think that might be okay. He's out on the inside. Oh goodness me, there's Gunnar. I thought it was Markey actually. In front of us, Maldonado's got a 3-second penalty as well for her efforts, so not good at all at the moment. Now we're just coming into Portier as well, and there's Wilson. Farf is 12 seconds back on, and Farf is going very deep into the race, and Farf is the highest runner not to have pitted, I should say. So Farf, he's on the hard tires, and those hard tires are going to get to the end of the Grand Prix. Siege into the pits there, so Siege there, who has used that track to his advantage as on board. And look at Gordo, that is understeer Gordo, and look as Gordo is really struggling, and I thought that Curly was going to sneak past it. Gordo is really struggling now, he's 11 seconds away from Markey, as Markey is now in the 5th position now. Look at that, Siege there, who is pitted in from 3rd position, it's out in 6th still, and that is the gap. There was almost 22 seconds away then. Yellow flags behind us because we've got a problem for someone. It's Slayer who's off the circuit then. Slayer's off the circuit then. I'm having some major issues, isn't he, Slayer, unfortunately. I gotta say, I think there's basically Enrique Bernodi and David Coulthard, isn't it, here from 2001? This is great racing, isn't it? As how Gordo is trying to fend off Curly as much as possible. Curly's on the inside, set it! Oh, goodness me, I thought he was in the barrier, then Gordo was there. And Curly there, stamping on all the, stand on the brake pedal as much as possible. Wow, incredible stuff. Absolutely fantastic. As Liam saying, how narrow this is. He must be an alley cat then. I think that's another pun there from a Leo cat indeed. Then a Leo cat. Goodness me. I think the only pun he's going to be concerned about is winning, isn't he? And of course I don't know where it's going now. But there we go. Anyway, but Leo cat. Oh, and Gordon. Oh my gosh, there. And I think that it's a 3-second penalty there for Gunnar and Gordo. I think he was squeezing Wilson off there. I don't think Wilson's going to be too hard for that. And Curly is already 2 seconds in front. Gordo is struggling for pace at the moment, but that is the name of the game here in Monaco, is there, as Gordo has come into the pits and so for the Ferrari. So on board then Gordo, as he has had a very action-packed opening 12 laps here in the Monaco Grand Prix. So into the pit lane, and he's got, yes, there is damage on that Ferrari, isn't it? So Gordo is going to the pits, and he's trying to get to a sensible window. Now he's on the hard tires, Gordo is, so he will be able to pick up pace now. But look at how much time he's lost. He's behind Marsky, and the Ferrari mechanics are very slow there, getting him back out on the circuit. He's now behind Dylan as well. He should be in front of Bradfield. He is going to be in front of Bradfield. Bradfield has been lapped that Leo Cat still leads 5 seconds in front of New Potato in second position. Welsh Maldonado 10 seconds back in third though, but she is on the podium. Winona Vital is fourth. Markey in fifth position. Siege is now in sixth position. Headset off. Siege is now in 6th position. And look, as Curly's now 7 seconds away. Then let's see what Curly's doing out there at the moment. So he's about 8 seconds away. So we're on board now. Just on board and on board Curly as we go into the swimming pool as well. So at the moment he's not gaining on Siege, but remember that Siege has just come into the pits, and my word, that Curly is, I've got to say, he's racing like a rally driver around here. Oh gosh, then I got to say, Richard Burns will absolutely be proud of Curly's car control there. Fantastic, wasn't it? As he accelerates away and goes across the line. Now Curly does. So wakes up serious. Mushroom has got past Gunnar, as Gunnar is. Got no wing there, as so Gunnar is back into the pits, and this is a tough old race. This one is. Farf is also in the pits as well, as the order is now starting to re-spread out. The Haas mechanics are ready, primed in the pit lane, and that's a cracking shot then. No, that's much better. I think those had an issue with the safety car shot last night, didn't he? Farf in the pits, and Gordo is now past Farf as well. Dylan in the pits as well then. So we've got a lot of pit action, and Farf accelerates out of his box then, and there he goes there. He's going to get out in front of Bradfield. He isn't, you know. There, look, there's reflection as well, come through as well. Farf is on the medium tyres now. Farf out of the points at the moment, and Dylan also down in 60th position. It's a bit of a difficult day, is it, for some of our championship leaders. Young Tommy down in 9th position, Dylan not getting any points at all, whilst Leo Cat is just currently enjoying himself out in the front at the moment there. And they're on board with it now as well. Gordo has got damage there, so he has confirmed then it must have been damage then from Curly's lunge, perhaps. Potentially. I do not want to accuse anyone, albeit I've already done so. There we go. But yes, I might have been. I'm wondering if I think that Gordo may have got damage already, but before that incident then. So Slayer is back in the pits as well. 2 retirements of Lewis G on the race. Just to the corner there from Lewis G. Then the race was done right side. There's some damage there. So someone has gone into him then. Slayer's also got a 5-second penalty there for crossing the white line, the exit of the pit lane then. Unfortunately there for Slayer. He's also got 3 seconds as well for cutting the first corner as well, and so it's a double warming up. That's a bit much there. Oh, goodness me, as reflections there, struggling to get the power, and look, there's that Williams there of, I think that's New Potato into the pits. Now comes Farf, and Farf is back in the pits, and so he's damaged the car again, the Haas driver has. This is a difficult Grand Prix, this is. And just now on board, and coming into the. Oh, it's the Haas mechanics there running to position there. Callum NFL there saying, I can't tell if this is a game then. I got to say it does look pretty impressive, doesn't it? And again, but you might have told it's a game there when the Haas mechanics ran out there. Goodness me, he looked a bit like one of those cartoons where it was sped up a bit. But yeah, thank you for joining us, Callum. By the way, fantastic stuff indeed. So we just got one of the Aston Martin. I think that's Markey, who's just got past as well. It's Markey. I think it is actually Siege now within a second of Markey. Great stuff indeed. That Tango was saying that was more about frustration from Curry than anything else in terms of the manoeuvre down into Mirabel. I got to the comments in the end of it. on board then with Siege at the moment, as really very much right underneath the rear wing of Markey now, as Markey, of course, has done 10 laps on these medium compound tyres. Siege does not have to come in the pits again then, but can he tickle these tyres to the end of the Grand Prix? Is going to be the question on my mind now. Of course, Travis King, look at this, he's got on the inside. Markey, is he going to squeeze? Oh, contact there, and that is damage there from one of the cars then. And who is it? And just take a look, oh gosh, it's Siege, and he tried to go on the inside of Markey. And oh my word, that is the pitfalls of Monaco, and Siege there is not going to be too happy about that, is he? Unfortunately, what a shame then. And what a shame then for Siege, so he's got to come back in the pits. He was further on the grid, doesn't he? But he's in the pits now. Siege is and as he's now cruising. There's the Papaya McLaren mechanics there in the action there now, getting ready toward it. He is back on the medium tyres then for Siege's. So is this going to change his plans? And well, it already has changed his plans, hasn't he? Curly's up in the 6th position. He's having a great drive out there, isn't he? Wilson there is also having an absolutely spectacular drive as well, doing a great job indeed. And so where does Siege go come out? He's going to come out in front of young Tommy at the moment. So that's great stuff indeed then for young Tommy. Wilson at 13th position, so in the moment he is the driver today. Well, I say he's going to go in front of young Tommy. I am absolutely wrong. Young Tommy has now been doing 8th position there, and he's got past that. Young Tommy's done 14 laps on those hard tyres, hasn't he? Then he is the highest runner who has come into the pits now. Siege is the second highest runner. So we're just on board the McLaren drive mode there. As Slayer there is struggling at the moment with concentration. He keeps making, he's saying he keeps making errors, doesn't he? He keeps messing up then in the Red Bull at the moment. Down in 18th position there. It's very difficult, isn't it? Where you're just not necessarily missing it in a Formula 1 car or on this game as well. So just now watching, look how Siege is just very much all over the back of young Tom as well. Now into the tunnel as well, as we now fly through the tunnel. We're on board as we're now coming out into the new chicane. This is where Siege and Markey had a bit coming together last lap around. Lovely shot here. Look at the harbour there, right in front of us. Look at the beautiful crisp blue water here in Monte Carlo. Absolutely stunning stuff, isn't it? And there are the boats, there are the yachts, and I gotta say I would have a boat, but unfortunately I'd sink it if I get on, so that's why I'm very much on land. As young Tommy, young Tommy and Siege are not going to be too interested about boats or anything of that nature, because young Tommy there is currently in 8th position at the moment there, and of course for 4 points. Will he take the lead of the Grand Prix? That is the question at the championship. That's the question I'm not going to be able to answer yet, because I've got the calculator on then, so I'm prepared, but so I've been prepared for This is the close battle on track moment. We're about half distance of this Grand Prix, give or take. Leo Cat 7 seconds in front of New Potato in second position. Maldonado in third moment. Both Williams drivers doing a strong drive today, aren't they? Of course, Williams probably could have and should have won at least one of the opening 2 Grand Prix, but unfortunately they've been very unlucky. Vitor have an absolutely great drive in 4th position on Mercedes. Markey, strong drive in 5th position. Curly, absolutely spectacular in 6th position. Wilson from the back of the field up into 7th position now, keeping himself clean and tidy. He's in 7th position then. 8th position is young Tommy, the championship leader. 9th position is Siege. Marsky in 10th position. Marsky was one of the earlier drivers to come in the pits, but he's back in 10th now. Gordo got damaged, and we're not sure if it was off the tangle with Curly or if that was earlier on the race then. And if that was later on the race then. 12th position is Bradfield. 13th is Reflection Bone. Far on soft tyres in 14th position there. Liam Dillon in 15th position there. 16th position is Sirius Bush. 17th Gunnar Slayer in 18th position. Retirements is TK and Lewis G. So unfortunately 2 retirements there. So we're now powering up the hill once again. Siege is still once again all over the back, isn't he? Unfortunately you have a bad stop in Monaco, or if something goes right or an extra pit stop, it's going to cost you here more than anywhere else, isn't it, on the Grand Prix calendar? So just now watching yellow flag in sector 2 is when the Aston Martins coming off. I'm not sure if that was Markey or not there, but Markey there, who's in 5th position and a strong old race, isn't he? Great stuff indeed there. This is a great battle indeed. I'm loving this one. Siege said, goodness me, he's all over the back of young Tommy as well. Is he got to have a lunch? He's too far back there. It's the young Tommy. Remember, young Tommy is battling for the championship after 2 rounds. Of course, Siege is not at this moment in time. Then he's a reserve driver, but of course, all his points do count. Then, well, what he scores for McLaren tonight is what he's of course what is McLaren going to score as well. You get the cut of my chin. Just watching a yellow flag in section 1 there. I must say, as we're coming to lap 20, we haven't had many incidents around here, and I think there's been absolutely, this is really impressive, isn't it, from all these drivers out here, how much concentration skill level is required here in the Monaco Grand Prix. Yellow flag in 1 and 2 then is just take a look then, so just going down to Mirabeau. Siege is all over the back of young Tommy, isn't it? But young Tommy is not going to yield, is he? This is full position there as well. This is ruining Siege's race, but young Tommy's not going to care whatsoever. As look as we're coming to Mirabeau as well, as Siege is now starting to really try and siege the day, isn't he? As we go into the Lowe's hairpin as well, and Marsky is now only 6 seconds back at the moment, isn't he? Mason saying the harbour water is so beautiful, I want to jump in it now. I would try jumping in it, but I might make a suit out of it there. That's why I'm not going to do that. And of course, oh no! And into the wall goes Siege, and he's out of the Grand Prix. It was the dirty air, and that is surely going to be a safety car because it's in the line of fire. But once again, the Burman under is AFK. He's away from the keyboard or whatever, or the controller, and he is not, and he's refused to come out here. Wow, incredible stuff, Fed. So we've gone from safety cars all over the show to no safety cars. Talk Curry's got a nose cone change as well. Figures trying to come in the pit set when he thinks the safety car is coming out then. But my golly gosh, as he comes out of the pits now, young Tommy's now in 7th position there. Marsky is now up into a solid 9th, Fed. Bradfield is now catching on board as well. On board with Bradfield in the Red Bull. Lovely helmet design there, Bradfield. Siege left for second. That's our third retirement then. And that is a huge smash into the Monaco tunnel, isn't it? We are smashing the Monaco tunnel. We got a lot of smashes in the Monaco tunnel, haven't we? I think didn't Ralph Schumacher and Alonso come to blows in the Monaco tunnel in 2004? We had a lot of incidents in Monaco 2004 in the tunnel in 2004. Because we also had Schumacher and Montoya under the safety car as well. We're down to 17 runners in this race. Made that 16 now as Slayer has gone off in a major way, and that is such a shame then as well. There's debris all over the circuit, and that's in the exit of Monaco tunnel. There's debris on the exit of the Monaco tunnel, and that's where Fernando Alonso crashed in 2009 or 4. So yeah, I'm surprised the safety car can't come out here, because surely there's debris on that part of the circuit then. We've lost Siege, and now we've lost Slayer as well. That's 4 retirements there, and 2 of them are exactly the same place as well. Fortunately for Slayer's retirement though, this is not it ain't going to make too much impact from the Grand Prix, and no disrespect to Slayer, but he was having a bit of a nightmare Grand Prix, was he? Mark, he is putting the hard tires out until the end of the Grand Prix. Liam saying is asking me, which you may have heard me have a little snigger earlier on then, because as Liam is saying then, make sure don't forget to ask what the catalyst of this pace was today. I certainly will. Of course, Kakro Goku, my man is dominating here, but Kakro, then of course Susie mentioned that Siege has gone off into the bar there, and Siege out of the Grand Prix in at 60 down in the McLaren. That's such a shame that Tango saying that yet again no safety car. Mason is saying no words there. Formula Moments has just gone crumbs there. I think so. I wonder if Sarah went off on his own there, but I'm sure that there would have been some kind of issues down there, because I don't think Slayer would have gone off on his own all by himself, there, would he? Because of course he's a talented guy. Scooby Stew, Burns on vacation. I think he is, isn't he? I think that he's actually in one of those yachts, isn't he? I think he might have hijacked Kimi Raikkonen's yacht, hasn't he, for the day, or for the week, I should say, as Burn is refused to drive around Monaco. I know a lot of drivers in the past have refused to drive around Monaco, but never the safety car driver, goodness me. We got Ivor Bryn, Mike said, let's go Maldonado there with the 2 flags there. I think that they're the Welsh flags, not the, and of course there's 2 black flags there. And I don't think that Ivor Bryn might want Maldonado to be black flagged or anything. I think that that's the Welsh flag there. Of course, the Welsh flag's not even on Discord, is it? Which is absolutely disgraceful. Shocking. But of course, Madagascar's flag's on Discord, which I was absolutely. Of course, I'm a big fan of Madagascar, the films, and also as into the pits there, we've got yellow flags in the hairpin now, as Reflection comes into the pits there, but you had yellow flags in the hairpin for some reason. And I'm just trying to find out what's going on there. As Bradfield on the outside, incredible! But Goro's come back at him. I'm closing my eyes. This is going to be horrific. Oh my gosh! Oh no! And they have come to blows then. And is there any damage on the car? So surely that's been damaged. So Bradfield's got major damage there. None of the drivers were yielding. This was for points as well. And of course none of them were going to yield, were they? Remember last season in Silver, I think we only had 2 or 3 retirements, didn't we? I'm sure we had no safety car in Silver race last season, didn't we? So my start at the beginning of the season, at the beginning of the broadcast, is absolutely horrible. gosh. Well, Marnollard's coming to pits now, and she spotted a lovely gap there. Come back out in front of VTOD, then, and there we go. But unfortunately for Gordo and Bradfield, they have come to close, haven't they? Wilson in the pits as well. He's gone up umpteen positions now. He is now in second position. He's in the pits in the McLaren. He is now just he's finished being service, and he's coming out of the pits now. He should be out in front of these two battling here. Curly up into it. Marsky in a lovely strong 7th position. Just yellow flag in second. Free. Gordo is off. He is off and out of the Grand Prix. And that is such a shame for Gordo. As we're on board of Farfair. Reflections is not too far away. Gunner's got it penalty there for, and that is, I say, oh my gosh. And Farfair was into the back of the front. And this lack of safety car, we've gone from one extreme to another. I think Emerson was very vocal about the lack of safety car in the, too many safety cars in Spain. Now here in Monaco, there's no safety cars at all. What is going on here tonight? And last night as well. As now Gordo drop it out of the Grand Prix. What a shame for Gordo. Now young Tommy there, who's put right to the back of Marky here. Marky's got damage, that's why. Marky was having an absolutely outstanding Grand Prix. He's had damage there as Slayer out of the Grand Prix has left the recession there. But Marky's in major trouble here. What a shame now for the Aston Martin driver. He was on course for his best result of his career in ALR. He still can be though, because it is not all done and dusted yet. Curry's going to be happy to see that Aston Martin, no then, it's Alfa Romeo, going into the pits there as well. So Curly is now in the 6th position. Incredible stuff here from Curly tonight. Wow, brilliant stuff there. Marsky coming into the pits there. Marky is coming out of the pits there. He's going to go out in front of Wilson as well. On board now with Wilson. Where is Marky? He's still pit lane speed limiter. So that means that Wilson's now in the 7th position there. Marky is now going to be in 8th position then, and he may even be lower than that actually. No, he's still 8th position there, because I don't think anyone is. There's almost half a minute gap between Marsky and Reflections at the moment. There's Reflections is fighting the car in the Ferrari, but there is going to be some almighty battles for points, I think, later on in this race. And just on board there with Marsky, who's in 9th position. Well, no, sorry, let's just catch up with the comments there. No safety car around Monaco. What is going on here then? Slayer saying I've not been well since Friday, and around here it's just too hard to race for Slayer. Hope Bradfield gets in the pit, and as I had damage there. Yes, of course. I think that the Yanks did more. I think that luckily Slayer didn't obstruct the penalty, obstruct the pit box in there. So good something there. We've also got Troy say 98 last night, no safety car. 49, no safety car. It's a joke there. Wonder if they forgot to coat the safety car in Monaco. Well, to be honest, they call themselves Codemasters, which is a bit of a stretch. 15 cars left in the Grand Prix. I thought Bryn Mike is saying it was a large flag. YouTube don't appreciate the flag of the Red Dragon there. Absolutely disgraceful, isn't it, there for YouTube there? We should definitely get a petition on the go. I was surprised that there was no white flag in Discord as well, but on YouTube as well. I think it's an absolute travesty, isn't it? So I'm surprised actually, because there you go. We've got Tango saying it's suicide to go up, but Beau Rivage side by side. It is, isn't it? There, and unfortunately, one driver was not going to give away to the other. It was going to be. We thought it was going to be an incident, didn't we? Unfortunately, that was the case, and no driver's going to yield. And it's Bradfield in 11th position. They caught out of the Grand Prix, lost 5 cars of the 20 that started this Grand Prix. So that's such a shame, isn't it? So the top 2 is still not pitted yet. They're very happy on the medium time. I wonder if they're going to soft set until the end of the race then. An interesting stride in for the top 2. Great stuff indeed. I'm loving that. Saying I think they did it on purpose, Liam. Then it doesn't look like anyone is fuel saving either, so could be interesting. As Marky's got fast up the race. Last night the fuel saving. I think we heard from around lap 20, lap 19 that some drivers were actually a fuel saving. Well, tonight that's not the case at all, is it? As Liam has said that, or maybe I should read the graphic. But it makes it more interesting. I'll put the graphic on it a bit there for fuel saving as we're just on board there. And look at this, and there's Dylan there is really been caught quite quickly from far. Remember, he's on 3 lap of medium tyres, whilst Dylan there is almost on 70 laps on the medium tyres. So Favre has got a fresh set of boots here, and he's really pushing. We've got Marky, who is very quick as well, and on the back end of Wilson as well. So we've got 2 decent battles with 12 laps to go there, and Dylan getting out of the way. I think then, Dylan is struggling, isn't he? And and a very good sportsmanship there as well for Dylan. Great stuff. So just watching a lovely shot here from the heli cam here, looking down then as yellow flag into Gunnar is out of the Grand Prix, and that is at the end of the at the tunnel as well, and once again no safety car by the looks at Gunnar, that's the third driver got off at the exit of the tunnel. Then the exit of the tunnel is becoming very precarious at this stage of the Grand Prix, isn't it? My goodness gracious. So Leo Cat and New Potato Sound cut the pitch there. Maldonado is currently 35 seconds behind the front two there. Remember, the front two haven't pitted yet then, but Maldonado will be creeping up and will be gaining on those two in this race. But of course they are going to the soft tires at the end of the Grand Prix. Both drivers are there. Whilst everyone else is stayed with the either the medium or the hard tires, or the medium or the hard and the medium tires, apart from Sirius Rusher, who's down in 14th position now, having a nightmare race. Sirius Rusher and that Farfetch, the two in the Haas cars, unfortunately. On board Marky, who's having his best Grand Prix. Yes, it could have got a lot better for Marky, who was in a strong fifth position at one point. Both Mercedes are looking strong as well, but it's the Williams team at the moment now who are getting the highest number of points, aren't they? With, of course, I think that they are getting 18 and 15 in it. At the moment, Serge First said another win then for Serge First. Then is unfortunately he's back in the pits, and yes, it's a tough races for this. I think it's the toughest of the year personally, even more tougher than Singapore in my humble opinion. And of course, Singapore is the longest race of the season, where it touches upon it was about 55 minutes last season, wasn't it? Well, I would say about 55 minutes last season, wasn't it? So it's a longer race, but this one you need much more concentration in a short period, don't you? Serge First has got on the soft tires again then, and go fast lap. Remember the new rule for this season in the ALR is that you get fast, and you get a point for fast lap wherever you are, not just in the top 10, which is a great rule indeed then. So for drivers that are on a bad day today, a lot of the likes of Bradfield, Favre, Dylan and Serge First, who all haven't got points, and Marky's in the wall. Oh no! And Marky just gone the loud pedal too heavily. He has damaged the car, and that is a major blow. There's debris out of Casino Square, and that is not good, is it? And Marsky's going to get through. I think Reflections is going to be in the window as well. Bradfield, I think, is too far back at the moment, but that is huge heartbreak for the Aston Martin driver. Marky is really showing that he's got some pace, hasn't he? But unfortunately, here tonight, and he's made he's had a couple of mistakes, hasn't he? But it looks, and it's going to be crucial in Aston Martin's quest for points here tonight. He's got a 20-second gap there. Leo Cat has come into the pit set, so our race leader is into the pit set, thrown on the soft tires, and he is just coming back out now, just as New Potatoes in the pits as well, and also thrown on the soft compound tires there. So Leo Cat on his debut tonight then is just dominated from start to finish so far. Absolutely mega stuff indeed then. So we've had two very impressive drives from two impressive reserve drivers of Blaze, and now Leo Cat as well. That's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? As the two reserve drivers, and currently, I'm not going to say anything actually, we've got 10 laps to go. I am going to watch my tongue, as now the Aston Martin and Marquis in the pits that are coming out now. He's going to go in front of Reflections. I don't think he is, because there's Reflections there, just passes the start finish line. Marquis is just coming out of the pits now. There's Marquis, so Bradfield's too far back at the moment then. Marquis there is watched in there, he's gone from 5th to 10th in that second half. Bradfield in the pits as well, and he's going on older medium tires here. Bradfield is unfortunately it's an unscheduled stop for the Red Bull team then, and now he's coming out of the pits as well. Red Bull also on a nightmare Grand Prix as well as the Haas team. Board now about Marsky's not going to be given Wilson, of course, concerning Wilson going for driver of the day once again, and we're on board now with Marsky. Look at that, and he's gained time handover first for the swimming car. It could be a swimming car. The swimming pool section. He is absolutely flying in that part of the race circuit there. Look at that, and Leo Cat is about 19 seconds on the road there. So I think New Potatoes had to change his nose cone somewhere, and so that's unfortunately put Leo Cat very much well without have reached out of New Potato. But I think New Potato will be happy just to get to the end of the Grand Prix, because up until this race, and he only done 2 turns, hasn't he, in silver? But yeah, this is a very good result here for New Potatoes there, and a very good result for Washman as well. This is a crucial part. Williams on a clean day today, and I can't say that in the first 2 Grand Prix they haven't had a clean day at all. They had a very clean, they've had some very good qualifying sessions, but unfortunately the race hasn't gone too well at all. Well, on today they haven't had any pole position, but they have had a very clean race set, and so far that is crucial for the Constructors' Championship. And that might propel quite within touching distance and the Alpha Tari racer, but young Tommy there is going to take the lead in the World Championship at the moment because he's got 10 points to his name. He does have Curly bearing down on him. Goodness me, as Marski having a look there into to back. Then we don't see many overtakes back, do we? I think the last one that I tried was wasn't it? I think it was Maldonado in Jules Bianchi, wasn't it? Or Maldonado and Max Chilton, or something along those lines, wasn't it? Goodness gracious me, that. And of course, unfortunately, that was a red flag race. It was 2013, wasn't it? Because the barrier to back and route around Maldonado's car. And now as we're on board then with Marski as we're climbing up the hill then over 100 as we're 165 miles an hour as we're dropping down into Casino Square then. Oh, Wilson's in the wall! Wilson's in the wall! That's a good opportunity for Marski. This is an absolutely stupendous drive today from the Alfa Romeo driver. Of course, he said he felt like a Grand Prix winner after Spain. Well, tonight then he's kept his cool. He has kept it calm. He has kept his concentration, and now he's up in December. It's a great performance there from Marski, and I think this is a brilliant drive. Indeed, great turnaround. Wilson, has he damaged the car in the McLaren? Let's just take a look at this. That was too fast for me, even when I was looking at the he hasn't got damage visually. Oh, he hasn't got damage visually. I think he just went to the bar, didn't he? He hasn't got damage visually, but of course, these wings do get damaged quite easily, don't they? Farf back in the pits, and he's gone on the soft tyres far fast to the end of Grand Prix. Wants that bonus point, doesn't he? Farf does. So we're going to get some qualifying laps, and Wilson's now he's in the wall. Now he's damaged the car. What a shame for Wilson, because up to that point, Wilson was having an absolutely incredible Grand Prix, and now he's got his car is falling apart. Reflection is 17 seconds back. Markey is also is about a further 23 seconds back-ish. So at the moment, Wilson has got the time. He's got 6 laps open. He's going to be limping around then on this race, and with reflections on Markey on fresher tyres, reflections on the medium tyres, soft tyres for Markey. They're going to be quite quick in this thing, isn't they? So we're on lap 33 out of 39 then. The gap at the front, and Leo Cat is now 23 seconds. 23 seconds in front of New Potato. Absolutely incredible stuff. Maldonado is second then, 17 seconds away, but on course there for a very solid third position then. And a fourth position there is Pete Todd at the moment there, 15 seconds back then. Young Tommy in fifth position, Curly in sixth then, Marski in seventh position. Brilliant drive from Curly and Marski. Those two might be my drive of the day, along with Wilson as well. Unfortunately, Wilson's made a mistake then, which could be crucial. Reflections is a drop back to 15 seconds here, so it's Reflections had an issue there on the Ferrari. Marski's got 3 second penalty now. That may be a costly part of the Grand Prix. Maldonado's got a 6 second penalty as well, but I think Pete Todd is too far away at the moment. Marski needs to build another 2 second gap then to keep his position then at the moment. So that's the penalty stakes at the moment. So we'll keep that. We'll keep an eye on that then coming into the end of the Grand Prix then as well. That 34 out of 39. Just back on board now in the is that Liam? Dylan. For some reason I've got Liam on the brain at the moment. And goodness gracious me, he's got to be reading out all his puns. 96 then is Dylan, the one half of the championship leader, and one half of the Constructors' Championship leaders as well. But today he's going to be losing the Grand Prix lead, and as it stands then, young Tom is going to be 10 points in front of him. The question I'm going to have on my agenda is We've never had a team combination there where I've really gone head to head for the ALR World Championship in any category. How is that going to play out? How is that going to play then in terms of team strategy and things like that? I think that, to be honest, then the drivers could play games with each other and all that kind of stuff. But I gotta say, really in league racing, it shouldn't make too much odds at all. I wouldn't say so, because really you kind of do your own strategy, don't you? Kind of thing. So that is, but who knows then? But it's a very exciting take, isn't it, on the Championship League. But of course, this is very early doors, isn't it, in the World Championship in Silver. It's only round 3, which usually Monaco is round 6 or 7, isn't it, in the calendar, but it's round 3 this year, so very early, some very early doors indeed. On board with Dylan once again, and getting very squirrely, going out of Casino Square and coming down into the hairpin as well then. And I've got really itchy nose all of a sudden there. Lap 35 out of 39 there. As we are coming to a close here in this Monaco Grand Prix. We got a sparky barrier on the inside there. Goodness gracious me. Good job not racing there, because I'm like a pigeon. If I see anything that's sparkly, I just go into it. Oh, it's Dylan there, almost having the same issue that Leclerc and Brendan Hartley had back in 2018. But Dylan are just trying to let Farf back through. But yeah, but luckily Dylan are having a lot of the well, basically taking evasive action. They're doing a good job there. Indeed, indeed that is just now on board then with as well. Farf in 12th position at the moment, so as that battle's going to rage on, but I'm looking at a reflection now. The gap is down to 8 seconds then. Has he got enough time left in the tank then in this Ferrari to maybe get another 2 points then into Ferrari's account then in car 84? This is a strong performance there for Reflection. He hasn't scored a point yet this season, but he's on course to really open his account then with 2 very important points indeed then. So very good stuff indeed there for Reflection. Absolutely loving it, and I'm loving the onboard action as well. Absolutely cracking stuff. Well, I'm going back to this battle here because Farf and Dylan cannot leave each other alone then with a couple of laps to go in this race. This is not about points then, this is about pride, isn't it? 2 Grand Prix winners in silver. Dylan won the Grand Prix in Bahrain. Farf won the British Grand Prix last season as well. So a very experienced driver to say the least, isn't it? 12 and 13 position there. And now coming down into the new valve. She came for acceleration away. Reflections now 3 seconds back. Goodness me, that is almost half the gap, hasn't it? Reflections. Oh, far very close there to kissing the outside Armco barrier here. Serious Russian back in the pits again, and has on the Serious Russian now for keeping going in it's a very difficult predicament to be in Monaco there, where you're near the back then. But fair play to all the drivers there. They just keep it on their toes as well. Reflections is now a second back. He's almost in DRS range. Dylan is in DRS range. He's on the outside of Farf. It's not going to let that happen, is he? He isn't going to let that happen there. And really showing the nose. So that's why Wilson's got no wing at all in the McLaren. Oh no! And that's a big blow indeed there for Wilson. So he's going to have to go to the pits now with 3 laps to go in the McLaren. And Wilson there. Oh no! And Reflections got it too as well. And Reflections area. I'm not sure if you knew about the wing issue or not, but that is a problem there for Reflection. And Markey, who is going to be storming on the soft tires, is going to be very much licking his chops now. He's going to be very happy that Reflections may have damaged it. I'm wondering if Jeff is going to tell him about it. Wilson out of the pits, and he's still going to be on course for points. Wilson is Bradfield is over half a minute back there. Well, it's going to be less than half a minute now, isn't it? But he comes out of the pits and in the McLaren there, Wilson is but he'll still be driving today. But what could have been there for Wilson? Very well, I think that he'll be very disappointed about how this race has gone there for us. That 38 out of 39, and another big Grand Prix, another big gap, isn't it? Goodness me, we've seen a Blaze last night just absolutely romp home in the Grand Prix win then, and now we've got something similar there with Leo Cat and Mild and New Potato. Fantastic stuff indeed there. Really impressive to say at least. Everyone's been lapped up until 4th position, and that's absolutely incredible stuff. So just now back on board then with Dylan, and so he's weaving this way and that way, but Farf will not be deterred. Oh, he almost went to the back of Farf. Oh goodness gracious me, we now got a ghost car, Serious Russian flying through. Oh my goodness, we got 2 Haas cars in one. And Reflector dropping down the order. Oh, what a shame there for Reflector. He's going to stay out there as he's got a 19-second buffer with just 1 lap to go. Of course, when you're lapped, then you get a lap less, don't you? You get a lap less than Markey. Oh, Marsky's in the pits, and is he? He's coming out now. Marsky's coming out, and he's just in front of Reflector, and Marsky's lost the position. I'm wondering why that's coming in the pits, and is there damage on that Alfa Romeo? Oh, drama on the last section of this Grand Prix. My golly gosh, Dylan there is still not leaving far from it. He's hounded him. He's hounded him at the moment. Just now on board then with Dylan, who is 3/10 second back about it. We got Leo Cat, who I gotta say, wow, he's been impressive. As they say, Lisa yellow flag says, oh, Serious Rusher is off there, and that's a car parking spot reserved for the Ferrari team. As Markey has dropped down the order. Oh, has he? He's fighting. Serious Rusher's out the Grand Prix. A 10-second penalty for Marsky. That is a crucial blow there for Marsky, and I think that's going to cost him. Is that going to cost him points then? Potentially. He hasn't got damage, and he's got a new set of soft tires and Marsky has there. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely action-packed at the end of this one, isn't it? Goodness me. Just watch the reflex there as well. So it's that 10-second penalty, then Marsky's going to drop down to at least not finish the pole there. to his first round of the Grand Prix then. And here comes Leo Cat on his debut. Got 2 reserves winning it in 2 Grand Prix in a row. And just as impressive as black. Oh gosh, that's a Haas car right in the middle of the circuit. Leo Cat wins the Monaco Grand Prix on his debut. He wins it. Wow, from pole position to checker flag. When, I must say, that is absolutely incredible stuff there from Leo Cat. Up until 4th position, he was lapped up to. Really dominating performance from the Alpine team, and yes, and I think this is really gonna help the French team in the constructors championship. Brilliant drive for New Potato. Then he kept himself clean and tight, and this is the first race he's going to finish. The first race is going to get points as well this season for New Potato. A strong performance from both Williams drivers then. So New Potato finishes a strong 2nd position then, and we got Maldonado, who will also be on the podium as well in a 3rd position then. Really good stuff. But Leo Cat on his debut. Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff indeed there from Leo Cat. Absolutely hats off to him. Really impressive. 2 reserves winning in 2 nights is absolutely mega stuff indeed then. And once again, it's a similar gap to what it was last night between Blaze and the rest of the field, and Leo Cat and the rest of the field here tonight as well. Different strategy was it today. It was the medium to the soft tyre, and it absolutely paid dividends, wasn't it? Really good stuff indeed there. Driver of the day was Wilson, and I think he'd be a bit disappointed with the result in the end then, because he was looking for a very strong, handsome set of points then. Unfortunately, he had a wingless adventure in the end, didn't he? And he finished down in 10th position now. But I think overall he'll be quite satisfied with that, won't he? But there he is, Leo Cat on top of the podium, and of course one of the best podiums of the season. Then absolutely be loving that, wouldn't he? Then brilliant, somebody. Then young Tommy would be happy with P5 after all that. He's okay, and he still retains the lead in the World Championship, which is definitely what he needs, isn't it? Let's take a look at the final classification, shall we, from the Monaco Grand Prix. Well, Leo Cat, one race start for ALR, 1 Grand Prix win. Magnificent. From pole position to checker flag, as Rion mentioned, and he also gets the full shebang of points as well. Absolutely mega stuff indeed there. New Potato finished 2nd today. He gets his first set of points as well. No pole position for the Williams team today, but a very good double podium. That is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Now New Potato will be very happy with that. And Maldonado, her first podium of the season as well in 3rd position. Great drive from Maldonado, kept it clean and precise. V Todd, brilliant driving 4th position. Magnificent. Young Tommy, the World Championship leader, retains it. Currently in a very action-packed 6th position. Markey 7th, his best performance of his career. Reflections 8th, with Marski in 9th, and Wilson in 10th position, driver of the day. Bradfield 11th, 12th Dylan, 13th Farf, retirement Sirius Russia, Gunnar, Gordo, Siege, Jake the Slayer, TK, and Lewis G all retired from the Monaco Grand Prix. I've been joined the gantry now by I think it's going to be 2 very happy drivers indeed. Then I think it's our 2 Williams drivers as well. Very good stuff indeed. New Potato, hello. Oh, not too bad. How are you, my good sir?
How you doing, Sean?
I know you've had a.
I'm happy to finish the race.
Couple of races then, but let's focus. Let's focus on the positive then. Today, it was a very well, from my point of view, didn't really do much in that race then, but I think that's sounding you very much short because it's such a difficult race to finish. Talk us about your race.
Once I seen Leo getting away, I seen a wee bit of gap pulling the 3rd place. I just sort of kept it steady and not to hit the wall and try and finish the race and get points. I didn't want to push to try and catch him because it would have been impossible.
He really
was unseen fast.
Cat was making his debut today, absolutely fantastic. But was you surprised there was no safety cars? Because there was 1 or 2 incidents last night and tonight that there was no safety cars. Was you surprised by that? And was you hoping for a safety car?
That was strange. I was sort of hoping, well, to be honest, I was hit and miss whether I was going to get a safety car or whether it would have benefited me much. I sort of had a nice gap to Bush Maldonado, so I would have closed that and put pressure on me. So I was happy enough with no safety car just to bring it home in 2nd.
We'll go back to the first 2 opening races. And it's been a bit of a difficult start for yourself in both Bahrain and Spain. Then, but you've got points on the board now. How do you build on this then for the remainder of the season, especially going into Azerbaijan, another tough circuit?
Just try and be consistent and finish the race. Don't be crashing out in that
Really
one.
good stuff. Well done, New Potato. Fantastic drive today. Absolute textbook. I talking to textbook. Talking to textbook, we got the second Williams driver
Thank you.
in the gantry today, and that is Marnado. Marnado, third time on the podium in silver, and well, I gotta say, it wasn't a very action-packed race from my point of view about you and your teammate today.
Honestly, it was lovely and boring. It was good because I can get into my flow. There was no one around me, you know. I was about two cars, like forwards and backwards, about 20 seconds away from me. So I was just chilling in the middle, you know, getting into my flow and trying not to bin it. So yeah, I never thought I'd say that I'll be on the podium in Monaco, but you know, here we are.
How difficult is it to keep your concentration? Because I got to say, I got concentration of a fish, so that would have been appalling for me. But how did you do that?
I I much prefer it, one. So just, you know, you're in your zone, no one's around you, so you just chilling, you know, try not to bin it, like. But yeah, there was a few blue flag drivers who let me go, so I say thank you to them. But yeah,
Yeah,
two Williams on the podium, lovely stuff.
Like.
Like.
Both you and New Potato have had pole positions so far. Been very unlucky in the races, but I would say that you two are definitely in with a shout for promotion to go. Then, same question I asked New Potato: how are you going to build from this then, going into Baku in a week's time?
Tried to bin it in Baku. there's not much more to it. I don't know. I just enjoy it. Like, and I'm just, you know, try not to crap yourself every time you go through castle section, and yeah,
Stuff.
just
Thank you very much.
enjoy it. Like,
When I was in the party outfit, let me have a quick look. Before I end the stream, so I've always done that before. I know where I've kind of ended it prematurely. Nope, that's all good then. I'm all fine and dandy for tonight then. Thank you very much for joining us. That's been an absolutely cracking race. It really has indeed that. Yes, Marnada did say about that scary castle section there, but luckily for us, we don't have to live it until, well, about a week's time. But of course, tomorrow night though, it is Bronze's turn, isn't it? And I got to say, Jamie was absolutely dominating last week, wasn't he? Is he going to have a similar result here tomorrow night? We're going to have to find out. Can anyone challenge that McLaren? Find out tomorrow. Goodbye. I think he's at the heart, isn't he? Ta-ra.